I mean, they smell what T-Rex has been cooking, but
Oh, damn.
putting in so much of hurt in their opponents as a support with Akazi, Jiva, even that Olivia, making him, I would say, not expected to be this deadly. Kulara, on the other hand, will be taking down Rosario Central. Didn't see much of them, but now they are taking the board.
Oh.
Now, S4L might be taken down right here, and Rosario Central for that booyah.
But at the end of the day, most important thing is who brought the most to the table. FAQ, not frequently asked questions, because this man asks no questions when he bumps into you. Only annihilation awaits you. Not the T-Rex squad into engagements. Mami got a fantastic shot off of Darius, but that gave him away. And obviously, Novatos did not survive long after that. Bolakan turned around, Winchester to the chest, Mami goes down. Danny caught all alone on the outside, too far to pick up his buddy, too little on his side to play that recovery. And player JK brought it to a fantastic again.
MVP, none other than the sniper of the T-Rex squad, player JK. Well, that's Kyler, Maro, Susie, and Moko. Wearing that AWM, 7 elimination, 5,017 in damage, and 4 headshots, plus 3 assists. He can position himself, but hopefully he doesn't overextend, similar to what we've seen earlier. And Susie Sports will be taken down by Novatos, thanks to Kakaroto, who's almost in his 10th elimination already.
My goodness.
Our MVP, it's not Oscar, it is Kakaroto with a valiant dash, Joseph, Tiva, as well as Shiru, AC-80 in hand, 9 elimination. Probably that 10th one was stolen away from him.
Face this alone. Keep my head up and breathing low. Put my heart with the ones that know, yeah. Cause I got the bass turned up loud, and the best that I know around. Fire that we can't live without, yeah. I can't lie, I'm burning white, but my oh my need you inside. I feel this time it's on tonight, but wishing I'm not seeing light. And if I'm right, I've seen the sign. Seems like there's no more lonely nights, no. Then I guess I know that I'm feeling the fire. I can see nothing in our way when we're catching on fire. When we're both here taking the day, are you ready for fire? Cause it seems we're on the same plane, and I feel this heat in the space. Then oh, I guess I know that I'm feeling the. My brothers do the right thing, tapping on the floor. I can't lie, I'm burning white, but my oh my need you inside. I feel this time it's on tonight, but wishing I'm not seeing light. And if I'm right, I've seen the stars. Seems like there's no more lonely nights, no. Then I guess I know that I'm feeling the fire. When I'm catching on fire. Watch the clouds break apart. Are we going back to the start? Going back to the start, yeah. But I'm feeling the fire up in my heart. Don't you think that we're ready for another part? Cause I know that we're really too far from the start. Cause I know that we're really too far from the start. But I'm feeling the fire up in my heart. Don't you think that we're ready for another part? Cause I know that we're really too far from the start. And I'm feeling the, that I'm feeling the. Catching on fire. When we're both here taking the day, are you ready for fire? Cause it seems we're on the same flame.
Okay, guys, we did it. Now it's time to break into the Telosium generator room.
Telosium, huh? The powerful and unstable energy we need.
I must say, seems like a trap.
Not just seems. Definitely is.
And we're going in like this?
Of course. We need energy.
And I'm not in the mood to recharge in an outlet.
Well done. Was easier than we thought.
Every time you open your mouth, something bad happens.
Ouch. That hurt. And remember, this mouth is ours. Do you know who the cowboy is?
Not a clue.
In any case, we agree that he deserves our best treatment, right?
My friend, we'll have to agree. You gave us the best gift of all!
Let me guess. Another night of bad dreams?
Worse. Bad memories.
Hey,
Steffi, my girl, what can I get you?
I'll have the same as he has. Are you alone?
Waiting for someone.
Never saw tech like this before. It must have been expensive.
Let's say I'm still paying for it.
My guys are here. Maybe you can tell me more about it later. You're...
Leave him. He isn't a Mamba anymore.
What are you looking at, you freak?
Chill out, Alvaro. We're not here for trouble.
You know what?
I might want some trouble. Is that all?
A bad penny always turns up.
Shrouds have no pockets. Hi, Sonia.
Orion, you were supposed to go back. Leave this place right now.
Sorry for the mess. Keep the change.
Just refresh my mind. Why should I get in the middle of this mess?
You owe us a favor.
It seems more like a never-ending debt with the Mambas. By the way, you're looking terrible.
We're fine compared to the rest of the platoon. We need to know who this guy is.
All right, better get started.
always keep them on the prize. Cause when I take a look over my life, it always go left and never go right. You stole Lupe.
Lupe?
For you, stupid, it's Guadalupe. Lupe! What'd they do to you, girl? Shh. Huh?
Darn right. And a traitor doesn't deserve such a pretty face.
Whatever. Just shut it.
Why? You're not enjoying a little tete-a-tete?
Who's the pretty face now? Hey, you! You stole Guadalupe! Get a real girlfriend, dumbass! Not a real... screw you! I had to sprint all over town for my delivery. I'm no thief. I just borrowed your ride for a job!
Steal this white whale van and I'll give you twice as much.
Why are you here? Funny you'd ask. Sorry, miss. Someone just stole my Lupe and I had to sprint all over town.
Yeah. Noodles won't get you out of the city, you know. If you want real cash, work for me. I know a loser could use some help.
A loser? Come on, can't you stop wasting your life with these dirty jobs? When you stop acting like your crooked dad! He was your father too, Tatsuya. Oh, was he?
The Garcia brothers. What are you doing here, kiddos?
Well, my brother here was about... Shut up, man.
Shiro, Tatsuya, you don't have to take your father's path.
It's all here.
Okay, good job. Send it to HQ. You are at a crime scene, kiddos. I'm afraid I have to detain you.
No! It's my fault, Mr. Mark. My bike was stolen, so I...
Couldn't you just call us, Shiro?
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show. This is the Free Fire USA Championship 2025 Winter Edition. Last day of the first week of knockout stage, and we are already seeing some teams that would be booking their ticket to the grand finals. On the desk, I am Neptune the Gentleman Garcia, joined by my brother, the Mustacho AJ.
Yet another exciting day, Neptune. I cannot wait to kick this day off. Like you said, the last day in week 1 of the knockout stage. We've got a couple of days next week. Yesterday, we saw Nova really pick up the pace. And Novatos, we've been seeing them for a while already within the group stage. A lot of capabilities within them. But they were never a major dominator of the competition. But what we are realizing is when you throw a bunch of these super dominators into a couple of lobbies, they wipe each other out early. Those rotation points seem to be very similar. You know, one of the a few key points on the map seems to be attracting these boys to bump into each other to allow the competition to be picked up by the rest of the teams who have been struggling to find the top, right? Fox did the same thing. Yesterday, Tambriz, 2 booyahs, couldn't get to the top, but they're in the top 3. Great things happened for them. And then for teams like Zeus, for teams like T-Rex, we kind of saw them falter yesterday. Zeus did manage to pick up 1 booyah for themselves, but T-Rex, it was a rough day.
I mean, talk about rough day. Another team that had it rough from yesterday was Rosario Central. I mean, we didn't expect them to be at the bottom 6 right here. They have experience. They are returnees coming from the previous season, but now it seems like they're the one being caught off guard from the points that you just mentioned. Rotation-wise, they are being caught off guard by either Novados or Fox Gaming or even T-Rex and Zeus Esports. So those are the top contender that we have right here. And well, we know for a fact that even for those who have it lower, they might be able to come back. But for Rosario Central, I don't know how you're going to come back from this.
Nah, it's not impossible, right?
Not
Rosario
impossible.
Central has shown us magical days. And I think just getting 1 decent day in the 2 weeks is more than enough. What are we talking about? Group stage, it's all concluded already. We started off with 24 teams. The top 18 have now made it into the knockout stage. We are currently in the knockout stage. This is the second day of week 1. Next week, we have a couple of more days that we will run the knockout stage, at the end of which we find the top 12 teams. We will eliminate the 6 teams at the bottom. The top 12 moves on into 1 day of grand finals, and this is where Champion Rush condition will be activated. Based on the group stage, we assumed Champion Rush is going to be achieved extremely quick here at FFUSA. But FFUSC has kind of shown us that when many Titans are in there, possibly the grand finals matchup might just get extended all the way into a game number 8 net.
Yeah, I mean, we're expecting that because there's a lot of denial that would be happening right here.
Yeah.
But if we're just basing it in the first day of the knockout stage, Novados would have already achieved that after 6 match, and then that 7 and 8 would be questionable because we know that a lot of teams are going for their heads, but they are also going for the prize pool. Champions would be taking $10,000 right here, and it goes down further. But for the teams, the goal would be to get to the top 12, not only to get to grand finals, but also to get a piece of this pie, because the 10th and 12 will be getting the minimum in this tournament, which is $1,000.
Yeah, cold hard cash to help you on your esports journey. Just help you sustain a little bit of your livelihood, or maybe even help your squad upgrade, maybe pay a coach, pay an analyst. And you might be thinking, wait a minute, we are earning probably 10,000 USD. Do we really want a coach or an analyst? Yes, you do, because it's not just this competition, right? We obviously want the FFUSC to flourish, and perhaps bigger things might just be ahead of you guys. So it's better to be ahead of the curve, better to be ahead of the game. Obviously, 10,000 USD is going to be hard to reach, but if you want to get there, you got to consistently hit those booyahs at the right time. Probably earlier in the Champion Rush, you don't want those booyahs, we don't have a problem. But after you hit the Champion Rush condition, you most definitely need it. You hit the booyah before that, though. 12 placement points, very nice to take. Placement points are not very kind at all. Second place gets you 9 points. You might as well 1 point for each consecutive spot. And you do get to buffer yourself with those eliminations, though, because the lower you go, the lesser the points. 11th and 12 gets you literally nothing, Neptune.
Yeah, exactly. And 7 teams have been managing so far with mostly placement points. One of which, that mentioned Tambriz, who got 2 booyah from yesterday. Another team would be Team Blue that have gotten 3 out of 4 matches that they played in top 3. So more enough, they can get more if they will get that booyah. They did have 1, but I love the consistency coming from this team. Team Blue, like, off the radar from the group stage, but once it comes to the knockout stage, they know exactly what needs to be done. And this is the overall standings after those 4 games for each team from yesterday's matches. Novados, as did mention, has already reached the top with 81 points, 82 for Fox Gaming. And so I guess at this point, if this is Champion Rush condition, they've already achieved that condition. And I would love to see them do it again on the grand finals.
Absolutely, man. But of course, after 4 games is when they have activated the Champion Rush conditions here. In game number 5, it could all come to an end. But how consistent is Novatos and Fox Gaming at grabbing those booyahs? We've already seen an example yesterday in tough lobbies. Obviously, they're not the champs, right? And even T-Rex, a ravaging squad that has managed to collect a number of booyahs in the group stage, have not managed to hit hard just yet here on the first day of knockouts. I guess yesterday they were still asleep. They were warming up their tiny little fingers and trying to get, across the battlefield. But it must be tough, T-Rex. I don't think a T-Rex can hold a mobile phone with both hands at the same time. Then.
Bro, they couldn't reach it. No. they wouldn't even reach the chest. And there, what more a mobile phone?
How unfortunate.
But the thing is, we've seen them do wonders. They might have been just playing with one hand or whatever. A tail would help as well. But anyways, as we look into the bottom 6, I guess that will be the focus, especially once we get into next week. That is where they will need to hustle even more. Rosario Central is part of that because of the unfortunate event that has been happening from yesterday. But SNPT, they are survivors, I would say. Definitely survivors in this game, getting themselves back in play most of the time without even getting that much elimination. So hopefully this time around, since they know the rotation they will be taking, we will see wonders from them. But speaking of wonders, well, it's wonderful to see a little switch up right now in terms of map. We're going to start it off with Solara, followed by Kalahari, and then Alpine. Now we go into a much, I would say, wider maps like Purgatory, Bermuda, and Xterra in the second half.
This is just wow for me, man. We're going to start things off on Solara. This is going to be super fun from the very get-go. Can't wait to see what these teams have got to bring out here. Because, when you look at Solara, not many teams excel here, right? Zeus is a team that's very proficient at getting eliminations at Solara. They love the slide rails. They love repositioning very quickly across the battlefield. And they've been collecting massive eliminations. But placement points is where they struggle a little bit. And when I say they struggle, they're still one of the top contenders when it comes to Solara. Getting into the top 3 is a no problem for them. Getting the Booyah, though, has been eluding them for some weird reason. So Zeus, I'm definitely looking out for them here at Solara. And also a team that will be playing with them, and that's going to be T-Rex.
Well, let's see now. Zeus Esports, T-Rex. We also have on Group A teams like 787 Esports, Shinigamis, who seems like they're enjoying a little bit more of their of the death gods instead of the death dealing. So let's see if they will be able to make it this time. And Exados, though, great potential, especially in the beginning of each stage of the competition. But hopefully they'll be able to carry it over. Fox Gaming, definitely huge or big hitters from that day number 1. Los Cubanos, though, is getting the short end of the stick, especially in those engagements.
Yeah, no doubt at all. Los Cubanos yesterday was not a decent day for them at all. They struggled in their communication, they struggled in their rotations, they struggled in those engagements. Everything was a struggle yesterday for Los Cubanos. But we are used to it, right? These are last-minute hustlers. They are like me, procrastinators for as long as possible. And then when they don't have a choice anymore, they pick it up, they get it done. And what do you know? It's more than enough to get through. So as mentioned, T-Rex, they're going to be in performance today as well on this map. Let's see if or not we're going to get a little bit of heavy contention from this squad, right? Because yesterday, again, it was a day where I guess T-Rex was snoozing. Maybe it's the winter. Maybe
it is.
I don't think T-Rex is hibernate, but maybe it was a sleepy day.
T-Rex, whether they're hibernating or probably just being I couldn't say extinct, but
they just ate. They ate in the group stage, and now they're just resting.
That's tough, though. That's tough because you don't want to be resting that much right here, especially in matches just like this. But I don't know. It might change. It might change later on, but that would be depending on the teams. And I would love to see them wake up this time around. Just secure that and not slowing down because teams like Novatos is just bringing this home. And given the opportunity, I believe Novatos can be taken down early, but we want the underdogs as well to get as much point as possible. So let's see on how that's going to work.
Yeah, no doubt at all. So Novatos yesterday, they picked up the Booyah here on Solara. Zeus, when I mentioned Zeus and T-Rex doing well on the Solara map, I definitely mean, in terms of performance out of the group stage. Yesterday was, just one out of many days, right? So we're not going to take that into full calculation just yet. Some might argue that maybe the group stage had a little bit more bottom feeders, so therefore, teams like T-Rex managed to dominate. Amateurs. These guys, they eat in the biggest lobbies, all right? They don't need to just feast in our group stage. I'm looking forward to them waking up. SNPT, I wonder when will be the time where they show us what happens once they start shooting. Because so far, Neptune, it has just been about running around, scurrying, looking for coins, and hitting those revives. They do not want to engage. They do not want to fight for some reason.
Well, that's one thing though. I mean, if in case SNPT will be grabbing a championship, we know for a fact that that money would be going in the best investment. Because even now, Free Fire Coin, they are investing it quite well, investing it for the teammates. So there's a lot more that would be happening in there. But again, SNPT, pulling all our limbs right here. I know they have the firepower in them. They just don't want to show it. They just don't want to give us that satisfaction of knowing that they have what it takes to get to the grand finals, much more to be the champions.
Anexados, 5 stars, PvP. Yesterday was a great day for PvP on the Solara map. I think somewhere around 15 points. They were average in terms of eliminations as well as placement points, which is great because we're not looking for monstrous rounds, right? I think if you are going to be able to get at least 10 to 12 points per game consistently throughout the whole run here at the knockout stage, you will stand a decent chance of sneaking into the top 12, getting into the grand finals, earning yourself easily a little bit of USD in your pockets. And of course, who knows, by some miracle on that day, if you just woke up and you are having a good Free Fire day, because there are some days like that where you wake up and you're having a great Free Fire day, you might just walk away with 10,000 USD.
Oh, definitely. I mean, just one day of grand finals, and for those who made so much of effort, group stage, knockout stage, if they fail on that one day, then that would be tough. That would be difficult. And it's not as if we haven't seen that happen. We've seen a lot of those happen even in previous season. And that's one reason why T-Rex was able to really dominate it. Because from the early parts before the grand finals, there's a lot of contention that is going around in each of the battle that the T-Rex was in. But now, seems like they will have a lot, definitely. And as we go back into the overall standings, we are looking as to how, again, the teams are putting themselves into some of those positions. But T-Rex 5 stars, I doubt that they will be staying in there in the 7 and 8.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. But looking at some of the squads here, you guys might be concerned. Maybe Shinigami's is not really going all out just yet. I think that would be the case as well, Neptune. But I don't think it is intentional. Shinigami's yesterday, they tried, but it was a rough day. They could not get deep into those circles. Early engagements and always not ending up going their way. And they were not just challenged, but they were absolutely tortured yesterday. 4 games, but in a decent day, you usually get 6 games of Free Fire. So I think 2 matches for Shinigamis to recover can definitely be possible. This is not because Shinigami is a team definitely capable of being at least in the top 6 or top 7, right? But the challenge for them has been that over-aggression as well as the rotation points yesterday. If the pathing has been fixed a little, because the groupings kind of still stay the same.
Yeah. I mean, at some point, like, they are still meeting most of what who they met from the group stages. So at this point, it's more of the adjustment that you need to do on the fly, especially in the first set of matches that you have. But that's one thing. That's one thing. Only 4 matches in a day because of the rotation, guys. Just set the expectation. We do have a rotation of Group A, A and B, A and C, and B and C in the mix. So that really would throw off your game, especially if you have to rest the middle of the day, because your momentum would be off. Or it would work for you if you spend those 2 matches to not only watch the broadcast and the other teams, but also talk amongst your team on how you are going to plan out your next approach on the next 2 games.
Yeah, it could really be a good or bad, right? Like, because your first 2 games could go really, really well, and then you lose your momentum, or you can get dog walked in your first 2 games, and then you're like, okay, we need to calm down. We need to, recuperate a little bit of whatever we have lost out there on the battlefield in terms of confidence, and then head on out and see what we can do. Yesterday, Team Blue, I think like you pointed out rightfully, was very impressive, Neptune. They were one of those teams that got more placement points than elimination points, which is so rare because we talked about elimination points and how that is usually the buffer, right? Because placement points are so little. They managed to walk away with 35 placement points. And mind you, Tambris, who got 2 booyahs, had 37 placement points. So ridiculous consistency out of Team Blue yesterday. But only 27 eliminations. And if you look at 27 eliminations, it's really not enough to hang in the top 10, but somehow they are doing it.
And it's one thing though. I mean, in first days, it's best that you can play with like putting yourself in a final circle. Because elimination-wise, it's if you can get good rotation, elimination might be good enough for you from afar. You will be able to do that later on once you get a hang of how you can survive towards the end. And I guess for some teams, that is the name of the game for them. Actually, that's the whole name of the game for Battle Royale. So Free Fire overall is survivability. And Team Blue is putting so much of effort to do that happen.
Yeah, the name of the game is actually Free Fire.
You know what I mean, bro.
As we head on into map number 1, game number 1 of the day, opportunity number 1 out of 4 opportunities within a day. What can groups A and B make of this? Of course, it's not going to be 4 games in a row for A and B. It's going to be 2 matches between this grouping. Because before we change things up, we'll have Group B rest. We'll bring in an A versus C as well. Before, of course, we complete the day with a B versus C. Every single squad gets to play a total of 4 matches. Group B will have the team that's got to split it in terms of their capabilities on the battlefield as well as a little bit of intensity. I hate that, Neptune. I hate resting in between. Like, just going like full on, then resting for a couple of hours, then after going full on. Nah, not my style.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. We have the energy, we bring the energy, and then you don't want to rest. But speaking of resting, a team might be resting right now because Shinigami is going against PvP in Windmill and high-tier loot area, which give them more weapon. The Famas has been one of the favorites, especially on that early drop. But let's see on how well they can bring it home. Eliezer, a little bit too aggressive, taking wax off, and he just managed to jump and shoot, and he fall down.
My goodness. We were just talking about how Shinigami is definitely one of those teams that cannot just step it up, but stomp on these squads. And they do exactly that. 3 eliminations already. High-tier loot zone. Looks like this one's going to fare fairly well for them by the end of it. 5 stars up against Fox on the other hand. SNPT in the area as well. Otaku being chased. It's a 3v1. Supreme should be able to get there. Supremo 2 with the Trogon takes Otaku out of the equation. Now the rest of Fox Gaming, they need to turn tails and run because the problem is 5 stars is in the house as well. And 5 stars actually walks right past Fox Gaming thinking that it is them and engages with SNPT instead.
SNPT, well, Supreme 2 is already down the ground. Supremo 2 trying to go for the pickup, and unfortunately, it is broke as well as another who goes in for takedown. Supremo will be left behind. Now, survivability still on them. Unfortunately, he doesn't have to go in for that pickup. Now, we will have to see which one of the team would be going in for revive, and I guess it has been done. Supreme managed to do it. Supremo is still in battle, but we know for a fact that they can bring their teammates back. But unfortunately, for Danger, he's out of danger, and he could have been taken down. The first point for SNPT from that battle.
Yeah, SNPT not wasting too much time at all on the revivals. They've already sent their players out who are scurrying around for coins right now. And I do expect to see SNPD right back in this matchup. Novatos, on the other hand, the team that really led the lobby. In fact, led the whole game yesterday in terms of the number of points they managed to pick up. Now in a heated battle, Buscaminaru down on the ground, and it's the wrong team to come across. Shinigami's, oh, actually, it's fine. Shinigami's one final survivor as he backs away looking for those coins. High-tier loot zone gameplay. Shinigami's initially conquering Windmill, and now Novathor's taking over.
Yeah, against PvP, seems like Shinigami is quite strong, but against Novatos, especially when they loot up away from you, you get comfortable, they might be taken down. Cold, though, might be putting some damage against T-Rex's player JK, but another one would be going for the backup. Let's see if they'll be able to finish them off. Bolakarn already into the mix. On 11th place, we have Fox Gaming taken out, and we saw the struggle down in studios, and now struggle will be felt by Cold.
Oh, definitely felt, man. Cold, one final survivor, and T-Rex says hasta la vista. Not even a single survivor left here. Just Cold gameplay out of T-Rex Esports. Cold Esports, on the other hand, they can warm up their fingers as they wait in the lobby for us. 5 stars on that revive. 9 squads left in here. Fox and Cold out of the equation. I think we didn't have 787 join us. Unfortunately, they couldn't make it to the lobby. That's going to be rough on 787 because it wasn't a full-on dominating day for them yesterday.
Yeah, definitely. And hopefully they will be able to join the next one. But 5 stars, well, Danger joining them back. Takedown on John B.
Oh,
and
my.
There you go. Even as a revive, you're still putting in so much of pressure at Pablo on the other side with VSK. There goes the Riptide Rhythm. It goes off. And Pablo still have a clear shot. Blue Wall saves them as well as a time turner. But the pickup has been done. 2 players from 5 stars. And plenty of cash to bring back Dior and Dragon. But Brooks right now just taking shots, missing all those with an SKS.
Look at Zeus, man. Just walking around the battlefield like solo players, just scurrying around looking for eliminations. And Pablo puts on so much of pressure on them, almost takes down 2 players. And just as easy as he got those shots in, he puts out the jump pad, quickly repositions. They could not catch him. And Zeus still somewhere around the battlefield. Not too far. Oh my, Pablo. David on that revive. Pablo pressured. What a AWM play. But the backstab though. Dior on the way. Pablo could not stand for long. But at the very least, he did play a phenomenal shot up against Dragon. Just couldn't go in for that forced elimination. 5 stars on a roll today. 9 eliminations already. They seem to be waking up.
Yeah, they are waking up. But Pablo, though, I was assuming that he's already knocked down there. Probably just a headshot. But the return shot, the return fire that he have, phenomenal. Now, Zeus Esports, 4 eliminations already. They've done strolling around. But who's strolling? It is SNPT back in play. I mean, they were kicked, stomped on. 3 of the players out, but you know how well they can bring themselves back in. And they are now in. And look at Supreme. Still outside of blue, hanging Rider's Club, getting all those coins. And you know for a fact that that's where the strength of SNPT is.
No doubt at all. SNPT, 2 eliminations. Rare thing. Usually we see 3. Look at the number of coins they have in their pocket, man.
Yeah.
I mean, these guys, they know they can't take it out of the game, right?
Well, that's one thing. I mean, they are using it to the best of their capabilities.
Oh yeah.
And leaving Supremo 2 behind, again, you can see the smarts of SNPT. You'd see, like, first glance, you would think it is just a noob move to leave one behind. The rest of the teams just roll. But we know that they can bring SNPT, or one of the players of SNPT, back. But we can bring them back. Wasson would be taken down. Hopefully, teams will bring him back. I'm not sure what's happening with Wasson right now, but T-Rex is on the hunt outside the blue, and they're not even phased. 30 seconds from the second phase of the circle to the third. It will be closing down, and I believe they're still far away from the next phase.
Yeah, the nerf of the top guns in the lobby, or the curse on the top guns, probably just continuing on. Shinigamis. 6 eliminations already up against Novathor's. They quickly reposition, backing away from the engagement. This still gives them a great defensive spot, but look at Novathos on the rotation with the jump pad. They want a better line of sight, and they'll get exactly that. They also have got the airdrop right in front of them. That's a defensive airdrop that they have to unlock. Riptide Rhythm breaking down the defenses, and Novathos on that rotation made the biggest mistake, and it is not even the initial team they engaged with. It is Los Cubanos from the opposite end that takes advantage of that situation. Beautifully played by Los Cubanos.
Oh, definitely. I mean, they probably made some noise and Novados heard it. They jumped on in, but Novados had an insurance policy. One was left behind. If I'm mistaken, that was Kakaroto. And Supreme, or SNPD rather, have the eyes on them. If in case they like pushed or again knocked down Kakaroto, that could have been the end of Novados. And they would be meeting with first Shinigamis on the other side and then Los Cubanos on this side. But the only question though is who's going to start it off.
Faker tossing out that plushie. Plushie sitting down there singing a song. Lonely, I am so lonely. Nobody for him to find, nobody for him to tag, nobody for him to hurt. That plushie's sad.
I can see he's blue. He's a little blue, so definitely even before he finds someone, he's already blue. But speaking of alone, Kane being alone in there, just finding good spot, I would say, to hide out there on the edge of the circle. Shinigami's on a perfect opportunity, but if I'm not mistaken, this is the same spot that SNPT was taking. I might be wrong, but you know how slippery SNPT is. One moment they're in one area, the next moment they're already out there. And also with Supreme roaming around, hopefully not too much outside the blue, they will be coming back every time you bring them down.
Absolutely. Los Cubanos now. Looks like they want to reposition. They have a vehicle on them. They're all gathering together. Looks like no vehicles, just a little boulder to play with. Probably no jump pad as well, and they're afraid to use it because this deep into the circle, they'll have to jump across either Shinigamis or potentially PvP. There is a vending machine for them to play as well. Oh, plushie sent out. Supremo 2 tagged up. That plushie is not too sad. Supreme up against Pablo's VSK. The weapon to use against those vehicles, and Supreme just doesn't stand a chance. Pablo says thank you for the extra point.
Yeah, I mean, SNPD doesn't seem to want to fight. I mean, they are peacemakers at this point, and even Supremo too. I mean, good opportunity to get into the circle, but unfortunately, they were already in, to be honest. They just roam around, find a few more coins, and then that's when they were caught off guard by Zeus Esports. But what's on right here? I guess that was a revenge mission. Now, they are picking up the coins that SNPT has picked up. You've seen that already, like more than 1,000 coins for each player, and they will just be giving that for the rest of the teams who's bringing them down. But one player there, especially in the minimap that we have right now, make that 2. Will just be hanging in there, probably moving with the blue in a bit, but the threat is still on the ground. It is Zeus Esports.
6 eliminations strong. The circle getting a tad bit tighter. And next, finding a couple of players on the side of PvP, not thinking twice to take those shots. T-Rex spotting out a couple of players on the side of Shinigamis as well. This one turns into a 3-way fight. Shinigamis pressured. PvP on a slight recovery. But Shinigamis, on the other hand, they cannot go all the ways because of whatever T-Rex tried to do in that engagement, interfering. Oh, beautiful shot out of player JK. I mean, every time finding the connection, it's either a knock or severe damage. Oh, almost got that one.
I mean, definitely a sniper. He knows how to predict the movement of the team. He even knows which area of that compound he can take a peek and probably take advantage of. But as we can see, Los Cubanos going for a flank. They will be meeting up with 5 stars. Dragon's already far away from the rest of the teams. There goes Riptide Rhythm and a shot from Kane. But unfortunately, he got rushed in. Even Thompson doesn't do that damage, but good enough that they stuck together. But they've also felt the wrath of T-Rex from the other side put in an AC-80 hit against Los Cubanos, but that gave the chance for 5 stars to get close to the opponents.
I love the prioritization of Los Cubanos here, picking up their team members, rushing in, looking for that circle, maintaining survivability instead of looking for points, looking for revenge. Hey, who shot me? No, not asking silly questions like that. We don't care who did that. We just want to survive for the time being. 4 eliminations in their hands, but now they bump into 5 stars. Opportunity Ray flying in with the M590. Doesn't get the first connection on the U-turn, though. Will go in for the confirmations. Now Pinalto and Kane right in front of him. Danger hiding away. Los Cubanos not spotting him just yet. The circle will find him. Cubanito down on the ground. Los Cubanos losing 1 to Danger as well. 5 stars, a formidable foe.
Oh, Danger would be in danger, in trouble. And there you have it. 5 stars eliminated. And Los Cubanos only 1 lost. But they need to move fast because the Blues closing in. And a lot of those engagement has attracted attention of the wrong people. And that would be T-Rex, who's slowly inching into the next phase of the circle. But it's out and open. So at this point, Darius and player JK will be able to make some shots, a lot of shots against the opponents. And who's in the crosshair? It is Los Cubanos, who's just stuck in one corner.
Yeah, Los Cubanos, impressive as hell today here in this game. We talked about how they are a capable squad, but now having to spend time outside the circle recovering because player JK just doesn't want to give them a break. AWM, now ANX will be that distraction. Player JK, their backs turned up against Los Cubanos. Maybe this will be that opportunity for Los Cubanos to step it up and punish T-Rex from the back because Zeus right in front, distracting them. Was on down on the ground already. Player JK going in for the confirmation. Brian hits one from afar. John B backing away for the recovery, and T-Rex has now wrecked the opportunity of Zeus for a booyah.
Oh, Bulacarn spotting the couple of players from Los Cubanos when we thought that they could have been safe. But Pinalto managed to go in for takedown, but unfortunately the Blue will not help them survive. Only 1 remains and Blue would be taking them out. Now down to the final 3 teams, and Zeus Esports is dwindling. But it's a good thing the T-Rex managed to deal and meet with teams like Anexados first, giving a chance for Zeus Esports to recover.
Absolutely. Zeus Esports, even though they recover, what can they do here? Will the numbers advantage be against them? T-Rex with 4 players, and Exados now just lost 1 player. JK getting that confirmation as well. Faker right behind a decent glue wall. Darius Winchester pulled out, gets the first connection, second connection as well. David will find Anexados on the opposite end with the M590. Both Zeus as well as T-Rex just really wiping the floor with Anexados here.
Let's see though, Palmer from the high ground. The shift is happening and T-Rex prioritizing on the move. Even stepping ahead on the circle. Now, will they be able to take this? But Zeus Esports have them in the crosshairs. Especially with David already in a rush. That will be the distraction. There goes the Riptide Rhythm. John B missed. And I'm talking about the good miss. It is a bad miss on the shot.
John B not looking to... a pickup. Beautiful. Recovery by Zeus Esports, but Darius circling in. David already on the ground. John B all alone behind the boulder. And 3 players meet him at the same time. John B will be able to get that headshot off of the Drogon. But that would come to nothing as Darius gets picked right back up. Palmer, no headshot for player JK in that situation. Quickly circles around. But bloody hell, Darius with the M79 steals that one away. But of course, JK is not going to say much about it. He's already farmed a lot. And T-Rex, after not showing up yesterday, show us that yes, their tiny hands can hold on to a mobile phone.
Well, not only that, it seems like they are also holding in a few of those teams next, especially on how well they position themselves in those engagements. They like not given an inch for some of the teams to breathe, to recover. Zeus Esports for a fact. They know that David 444 is already in the lead, and they managed to isolate him from the rest of the team. If it wasn't for that pickup, he could have not survived any longer. But what else can they do? That is already done for because a lot of players from T-Rex is already rushing in. And Darius, with that steal, he managed to get that MVP wearing that Nero. And also with the Suzy, Moko, and Antonio, M79 would be, I would say, best weapon that he has used in most of the games that he played. 9 elimination, 3,769 in damage. No headshots though, but assist is phenomenal.
Yeah, the Winchester 87 doing fairly well there. 9 eliminations, 8 assists in total. I think this was a monstrous round for Darius, and it definitely confirms that T-Rex has now woken up in the fight here at the knockout stage once again. With the Nero, we saw that Plushie just torturing the lives of players out there. Suzy, Moko, Alvaro, like you pointed out, you know, not one of those teams like, what was the team name again? The Survivors who were picking up coins continuously. SNPT, yeah. Not like SNPT on the collection, but I mean, these were rich boys as well on the battlefield.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, rich in terms of getting a lot of those numbers on them. And a lot of elimination coming from a team. We've seen this, but we've seen this before the knockout stage, but didn't expect that it will happen. I guess this is what we should expect from champions. They don't want to let that go, and they've already brought themselves very high in leaderboard, especially in that performance. And if I'm not mistaken, Novatosa also was taken out a little bit early, so there's not so much of chase in there for number 1 spot.
I mean, obviously T-Rex will be able to catch up very quickly, because whenever these guys hit the booyah, they don't hit regular booyahs. They hit monstrous booyahs, right? They get, you know, close to 20 eliminations plus the booyah points, which equals up to around 30 plus points to climb the leaderboard. And 30 plus in this case was 34 in total, as they pick up a total of 22 eliminations. And Exados USA continues to deliver out there on the battlefield. 22 points for them, all thanks to the second place, as well as a total of 13 eliminations, followed by Zeus and Shinigamis. Down at the bottom, Fox Gaming this time, falling big time, right? Yesterday, the consistency was amazing. They managed to get into the top 5, but now they'll have to struggle to find their footing once again to keep their top 5 placement.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully they'll be able to do it once again. Cold Esports only 1 point SNPD though. They didn't survive that long. I don't know. They were playing around so much in there, especially in the third phase of the circle, that they were caught off guard, isolated from everyone. BVP though, one of the first few teams that has been eliminated on those games, especially against Shinigamis and Windmill. But one of the survivors managed to bring them back, get a few more points, but it's not enough to put themselves on top of the board. So a lot more changes might be happening right here, especially with Novados being pushed down, and we've seen how aggressive Novados is. They just know where the drop spot of some opponents will be, especially for those who are the bottom of the leaderboard when we carried over from the group stage to the knockout stage. So they are just targeting those sorry for the term, small fry in this game, but I guess it does wonder from that game or from that day number 1 of knockouts.
Yeah, and Exados is the only team here who have not really found their way towards a booyah, right? Who keeps getting close enough, but just not getting there. Fingers crossed this next map will be a difference maker for them as we head on into Kalahari for game number 2. This is where Exados really needs to step up, because Kalahari, it really hasn't been that kind to the squad of Anexados as of right now. They're one of the bottom performers, I would have to say, Neptune.
Yeah, bottom performance indeed, and it's really tough. It's real tough right now to say have that that strength from the early parts of the group stage, because we've seen that coming from Anexados. But going into the knockout stage, if they don't man up right here, get all those points, then they might be pushed down in a lot of those engagement, a lot of those battle later on. So we'll have to see. We'll have to see that in a bit. But right now, Kalahari. And I mean, there's a lot of opportunities for most of the team, but T-Rex, I guess, would try to do their best, especially with player JK into the mix. And the snipers is not only being warded by player JK, even Darius can make those shots from afar.
I mean, absolutely, man. I mean, these guys just made a something else. Everybody on the side of T-Rex can't just play a good game of Free Fire. They know how to dominate their opponents in the most irritating way possible, because there's just no getting away from them. When T-Rex wants to play for the booyah, they are getting the booyah, and they are getting all across the battlefield. If you just happen to come across them, then yeah, you just gotta smile as you get pelted by those bullets. These guys are unrelenting. But Zeus Esports was technically that squad as well. We don't really see out of them much of that aggression at this point.
Yeah, let's see if this is something that would change our minds, change our perspective of the teams. But that would depend on how it's going to turn up right now. A little pause into the game right now in Kalahari. In a bit, we're going to see more of that battle unfold. But again, Solara was something else. And even from some of the days, when it comes to Solara, it throws off the game of most of the team. So hopefully they'll be able to change it in a bit. But there you have it. Game continues, and we are now dropping into Kalahari.
Right here, loot zone. Focus for Novatos, and it looks like nobody's going to be disturbing them. But Fox versus T-Rex is going to be the decider if or not Fox Gaming continues to be tortured throughout the day, continues to struggle to find those points, or will they take on one of the the biggest contenders for the Booyah and earn a massive boost of adrenaline to get all the way to the end of this lobby? We'll have to wait and see, because the initial phase of this command post hot drop is to pick up some guns.
Yeah, pick up some guns, and it's a good thing that a weapon rack is available as well, but doesn't have, I guess, that much firepower compared to high tier loot area. So T-Rex right now, well, they will need to move fast, because it seems like from behind them, Fox Gaming is catching up. But on the other side, SNPD going against 5 stars, and it seems like they are winning a little bit of their battle. Let's see if they can hold off a little longer. Now, into this pyramid they go, blocking every movement, every approach. But on the other side is Los Cubanos being eliminated early once again.
This is just unfortunate. Los Cubanos, this time barely getting anywhere close towards that final circle. It was a early game departure. And Exados up against SNPT on the other hand. There is a vending machine here.
Whoop.
But Supreme 2 will not be able to get away from that. A great rush from the side of Exados. They played that timing well. 2v1, M590. Obviously, that's going to continuously happen, but Supremo hits that revive.
Yeah, regardless, Supreme 2, Supremo 2, and Supreme... All right, who did I miss?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, SNPT, that's survivors, because that is one of the factors, one of the key factors that they have right now. Well, let's see if teams like Fox Gaming can survive. I'm seeing a little bit of isolation already happening. And here you go, have it. Oh, Taku!
What?
Almost! And still Garena managed to go and take down. Only player JK remains. And not even phased with that plushie, the cryo mine. But as you can see in a minute, player JK already out of here and getting a chance, or finding a chance for revive for the rest of the team. But who's being part of that mix? Because another one has heard those gunshots. But as we switch over in Santa Catarina, Shinigami's feeling wrath of Novatos.
The only reason why the squad could not go in for the chase onto player JK was because of the investment into the bolt maker. Lightning zone had been called upon by the side of T-Rex, protecting them outside the compound. And that allows player JK a little bit of distance, but we still have not seen the revivals come through from JK just yet. There's a chance, there's an opportunity that Fox Gaming goes in for the Punisher, but it looks like Novatos has found Fox Gaming. Fox will not be able to pursue T-Rex. The high probability of recovery here for T-Rex.
Well, great comeback. The one Danny has been knocked down. And with a mini Uzi, Yaroa will be taken down. Not quite sure what's happening right here for the players, but up close and personal, it seems like they are playing Clash Squad. Only a sliver of health for Choco, and he is still alive and still doing damage with that M1817. But it seems like the luck is not on their side right here, as we are seeing teams faltering little by little as we get close to the next phase of the circle.
2 teams now have tried to take Fox Gaming down and out of the competition, at least of the lobby, and 2 teams have failed. One of them is T-Rex. How crazy is that? The other one is the team that ended up in the number 1 position by the end of yesterday. Are they still in the number 1 position? Yes, they are. They're still in the number 1 position. They just took down T-Rex as well as the top contenders in the knockout stage so far. Brilliantly played. And player JK, now we understand why no revives just yet. That's the first 300 coins. He needs to hit another coin machine before he can pull at least one player back in here to help him on those revives.
Yeah, it's the thing. I mean, if the time lapses to where you can get a cheaper revive, then you will be in trouble. But speaking of trouble, Wason almost being taken down, going against SNPT right here, but damage being received. Plasma gun onto Supremo 2. No question there that they really need to work on something. Pablo already in there. Cryo Mine, and Pablo beats them, but good on them. For SNPT, they have that valiant dash, and they manage to go for a knockdown. Now, they have full revive, and still, they are falling down. What a nade! But you know how it is with SNPT. There's always one straggler in here who will be picking up the coins and bringing the team back up.
Oh, John B, what a play. Double nade right beside the vending machine, and then uses the vending machine to hit a revival, and then sees his buddy sprayed down and hits another guy on the side of SNPT down onto the ground as well. And Supreme hits a triple revival once again, refusing to shoot at these guys are lovers, not haters. These guys don't want to fight. They just want to hug.
They definitely want a hug, and they're hugging those vending machines quite well. They love those vending machines, even the queens. But Anexados is not buying it. They are getting as much elimination they have as much as possible. PvP, though, surviving in the 6th minute. And as we look into the next phase of the circle, seems like everyone might be pushed in the middle. Who's taking the refinery? It is PvP, but here comes 5-star, who might be able to beat them down, but the split rather would help them right here if in case they go or they are looking for a revive. But Wax might be in trouble as well, as Zuzi Sports would be closing in.
5 stars in a decent spot on refinery. They don't need to really move for the time being. I do believe they did manage to drop somewhere else and then rotate into refinery, which means they've got decent loot, probably enough coins on them as well as of this point of time. Not a lot of engagements going their way just yet. Palmer, this time Anexados versus T-Rex. This is not looking good. JK just brought them back in. They haven't really had the full loot on their side just yet. Volakan hits that revival on to put in first place. JK straight down. A beautiful flying Brian with the M590 puts an end to him. Palmer traded right back out. Volakan going in here to protect the rest of the team members. But Faker finds Darius. My goodness, great glue wall. Darius protects himself, gets the revival first. And Faker can't get to him just yet. He's the sniper of the squad. M82B though, this is the perfect weapon.
Yeah, into the glue wall, he might be able to go in and make those wall bangs. But Brian, no! Seen by 5 stars, Dragon for it. Darius still survives and barricades himself, but the Melter melting the chances of going and surviving for long. But the deed has been done. The distraction is in there, and this opens up the door for 5 stars for a hit against Anexados. That elimination might be going down the drain if they fall down as early as here.
Yeah, 5 stars interfering in this clash and being the difference maker, forcing Anexados to run away. The revived players on the side of T-Rex did not come back into the same compound for an ego challenge. They drop far away, and therefore we get to see T-Rex survive as well. But Faker outside in the situation where the blue is going to be chipping away at his health. Dragon looking for that elimination. You see that AC-80 on the chase, but it is Dragon with the Winchester that gets the knock, confirms the elimination as well.
Let's see. So far, 5 stars. Well, not doing that well compared to what they've done from the past, but it doesn't matter. If they can survive here, get as much elimination as possible, then they might be able to bring themselves back up. But speaking of bringing them back up, it is Anexados trying to do the deed.
Yeah.
A couple of coins being taken, and one can be revived. So hopefully they will have better luck later on if in case they have any place that they can land.
Let's see what T-Rex has got to deliver here as they circle around, looking for the vending machine at Mammoth. Don't need a revive, but they're going to find a couple of easy points here. Cold Wah saw that and said, whoa, nope. Back down we go. We were going up, but now we are going back down. To the opposite side. Last thing we want is a fight. Cold surviving in 3 players. One guy did not manage to find the connection into this lobby. Unfortunate for Cold, but they're doing fairly well at the moment.
Well, team that is doing fairly well, especially against 5 stars, ZNPT. Pickup has been done, but still have 1 player in there. And I was looking, I got a glimpse of the passive skill of Supreme, and one reason why he's hanging on the edge of the zone or outside the zone on a vehicle is because it seems like he has an Atora as well as a Misha. So most of them has been used to the best advantage when you are in the vehicle, healing as well as healing your teammates and getting a little bit of speed. So just a little fun fact for Supreme and SNPT. Another fun fact is they are receiving a lot of damage from 5 stars.
I mean, what a crazy fun fact that is, because that's like the meta of 4 years ago. No, really.
Yeah.
It's literally 4 years ago. Before I even started a proper career in the world of Free Fire esports, that was what was happening. Or at least in my early years. And these boys just want to blast from the past.
They know their history.
They're like, wait a minute, nobody's using these characters. Maybe we can make some magic happen. All right, we'll see. Yarowa, Fox, Nate straight in, and Sir Will's down. What a toss by Choco! And delivery time, Shinigami is received, but my goodness, they shouldn't have opened the package.
Yeah, I mean, that's one thing. That's one thing. I love the throw, just bouncing off that glue wall and straight into Shinigami. I didn't expect it. I thought it was blocked already. In the moment that he stepped in, M79 is already pulled out. But let's see if that's something that they can do once again. But for 5 stars, hitting SNPD hard as they put in the pressure. And you can see SNPD not putting up a fight. Earlier, they are taking shots against 5 stars. Did manage to take down Dragon, but revenge mission being done by Dabadoo.
High ground disadvantage. 5 stars needs to get to the vending machine. But it looks like Zeus will say, maybe we will stop you if you try to get on to the opposite side. Easy one for Dabadoo. Peeks around, finds a easy shutdown. And the players of SNPT will struggle. As Dior gets knocked out by the circle. Excuse me, Dior.
We did see Supremo 2 being revived as quickly as that. So that's why I'm laughing, because SNPT, regardless, like, put them in a corner. They will be coming back. And, well, position-wise, I think they're just waiting for the opportunity to move to the next phase of the circle because they are very close. But in front of them would be Fox Gaming as well as PvP, who has spent most of the time in the middle of each phase of the circle. But Zeus will be jumping in, probably a little bit too ahead, and a little bit of accuracy being taken by either Pablo or David before they go for a jump. But at the same time, they will be seeing Supremo 2.
But JK has got the profile of all things. No sniper like we usually see. He wants the rate of fire, and with that, they put on that immense pressure. 1 player, 2 player taken down off of Cold Wah, the final player left in here in the weapons arsenal, and he can only cry because there's no vending machine around him. He needs to hunker down. Somebody might come looking for an upgraded weapon, and that's going to be a problem.
Definitely problem. Let's see if that is something that he can avoid. T-Rex right now, I'm pretty sure they have spotted it already through the glass, though they won't be able to make that shot, but even T-Rex is not moving to go for that push. 5-star though. Riptide Rhythm. Breaking down the glue walls. And this is just for player JK. But unfortunately, Darius needs to be picked up. So that would stop the rampage by the dinosaurs. But they also need to move because the glue will be closing in a bit.
I think that was a misclick on the glue wall. So close to the very edge of where the circle sits right now. And that will force T-Rex off of their little perch at the top. Dabadoo and Dragon, 5-star, 7 eliminations so far. Up against Zeus. Well, obviously a heavy contender. And Dabadoo, big plays. Will find player JK, puts him down on the ground, tries to find Bolakan as well, but very quickly scurrying behind their glue wall. Dabadoo, so irritating to deal with. Sharpshooter. And player JK, on the other hand, will find himself in an opportunity where PvP serves themselves up on a platter.
Oh, speaking of being served, one team has been served, and it is a 5-star being taken out of the game by Zeus. T-Rex, though, 4 eliminations only. Not really putting that much of a rampage, but glue walls down. And here comes a T-Rex. Only Bolakan remain, though. 5-star
GG.
fighting back, and they manage to eliminate and make the extinction on T-Rex. PvP is looking good.
PvP is like, who the hell you think you are? We came here first. Get out of here. 5 eliminations. An impressive one from PvP. Standing up against the dominators of the day so far. Zeus Esports was the next contender. And PvP does not want to jump into that battle just yet. But Fox is going to take the fight to PvP directly. They want this defensive spot out of them. Yerowa, M590, great defensive blue wall by PvP.
Oh, it's one thing, though, one problem for side of PvP. One player for side of Fox Gaming does have that cryo mine, so it would be trouble indeed. There you have it. One of the players from Zeus has been eliminated. PvP.
Wow.
Wax. And Fox Gaming is back. It seems like they don't want to go down early in this match, in this day, and they're putting themselves back at the board.
Yeah, I mean, Fox, a horrible start today. We saw exactly what happened to them in that previous game. I believe they got absolutely nothing off of that matchup. But when it comes to Kalahari, Fox knows how to deliver. They pick up that booyah for themselves in a very consistent manner, just finding the dominance on this map.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, well, Fox Gaming, I'm really loving this tournament event for this team. A lot of hopes, a lot of potential right here, especially as we get close to the grand finals. But what else can we see? Fox Gaming has done so much from yesterday. They are going for the catch-up right now after failing that first match. But a lot of teams are also moving up. If I'm mistaken, SNPT had a decent amount of points from that game as well. We're going to see that in a bit. But for that, it is our MVP Choco with that Cryo Mine Nero together with the Moko, Susie, and Antonio, and an M79 as his best weapon.
I just keep remembering the song. My name is Choco. Choco. Sorry, Choco. The face. The mugshot.
I'm thinking of a different song, though. Chocolate.
Nero has got the Moko, Susie, Alvaro in there, and the M79 plays. Choco was definitely deadly in that final bout. 9 assists in total with those nades, obviously getting massive tags. And the final engagement for Fox was one that was executed perfectly, right? Because they saw PvP, they knew Zeus had one more player on the way. They get the drop on him, and then the pressure brought up against PvP was timed so well. Choco with the nade, initially with the opener. Otaku hopping on in, makes a mistake with his Valiant Dash, but what he does is wait for the backup off of the rest of his team members. What he didn't know was it was the final player on the side of Zeus that was right in front of him. He takes him out of the equation, and the rest of them just needed to deal with Wax 777, and they said that was too easy. Fox Gaming with a solid Kalahari Booyah. The second one at Kalahari, as a matter of fact, here at the knockouts.
Yeah, second one in Kalahari. I'm really loving how consistent Fox Gaming is, especially in Kalahari. But there's a few things that they really need to work on. Their rotation as well as who they're choosing to fight. But in this map alone, they have done quite well. T-Rex, though, it's just unfortunate. They have great advantage, but they fell down from the hands of PvP. And looking at PvP right now, they take number 3. They have the second place as well as 5 elimination. And imagine, like before they met with T-Rex, They only had one.
I mean, okay, PvP, I clap for you. But SNPT, I have to bow down to you. Because the survival play out of this squad is ridiculous at this point, right? This is a savage lobby. You've got some big squads in here. And these guys are just smiling, hopping away through those windows, you know, just showing us some live parkour in the world of Free Fire. And they continuously hit that revive, not engaging unless they're totally forced to.
Well, let's see though. Let's see. I mean, so far, where's SNPD? 12th place, just in survivability. Though they put up a few fights as well, win a few engagement, but I'm loving this. But Fox Gaming taking the lead, even taking it away from Zeus Esports. So they pushed down Zeus Novatos as well, or rather Novatos, and even T-Rex, who managed to get a booyah from that game number 1. What else are we going to see from Fox Gaming? Hopefully a lot more, because this is how they want to roll.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And I think at the end of the day, if Fox Gaming can keep this up for themselves, obviously not just climbing up, but just dominating the top 3 is on the table here for the side of Fox. And at the moment, number 1. How long can they keep this up? I mean, the plays have been pretty ridiculous so far, Neptune, I have to say.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Fox Gaming, the drop spot, I guess they're choosing their drop spot, making sure that they have, like, not the best teams in their engagement.
Yep.
And then they just go for a full rotation, loving how they're rotating, surviving as well. But another team that we've seen, or we haven't seen getting that booyah, but still is on the board, was Anexados. I mean, Anexados USA, we thought that they're already done for. After the first few weeks of knockouts, of the group stage rather, they were faltering, but they have already invested so much of points, and now they they managed to put themselves into the knockout stage. Now, they're doing the same thing, but quite differently. Not that aggressive and still on the board. So I'm looking forward to more from Anexados USA.
I absolutely am looking forward to them stepping it up and also grabbing a booyah for themselves. But ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a quick short break. When we come back, we'll be switching up the groups. Group B, we'll take a rest. Groups A versus C coming up for you guys after a tad bit. I'll be back, bro. Welcome back, survivors. This is the Free Fire USA Championship 2025 Winter. Today is day 2 of the knockout stage, and this is game number 3, which means Group B will take a quick short break. Groups A and C will now interact, and Groups A and C obviously, bring in a little bit of a different challenge to the battlefield as a whole. We're going to take this all the way through. My name's AJ. I'm the Mustachio, down here with the one and only Neptune, the gentleman Garcia. Let's see exactly what these groupings hold first, Nep.
Yeah, definitely. On Group A and C, we're going to see the likes of Tambres, Red Eagle, E7 Empire, Galaxy Gaming, as well as Team Blue and Rosario Central. And hopefully in this map, like Alpine, Rosario Central will survive a little longer. Because so far from the past few games when they were playing, they didn't put so much of a scores in the battlefield when they played these matches.
Yeah, I mean, no doubt at all. I think Blue did very well, like you mentioned. Galaxy Gaming down there, kind of just struggling a tad bit. I have to say they need to step it up. Red Eagles yesterday, they showed us exactly why we should be big fans of them. And what they pulled off of that final day on the group stage really shocked us. What they confirmed yesterday in the knockout stage shows exactly what they're capable of doing in the competition. So I want to see more of Red Eagle here today. Yesterday was a no booyah day for them, but a big performance day. Today, I want to see a couple of booyahs.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, there's a lot of hopes for some of the teams right here, but teams who were left out from yesterday are now finding back. It's the rotation map as well that they are considering at this point. But let's take a peek on Group C. Rosario Central, Tambres, E7 Empire, Blue, Galaxy Gaming, and Red Eagle ACD. Rosario Central really needs to make a move this time around. Reason why I'm always bringing them back up into the story, into the conversation, because this is not what we expect from Rosario Central. And I know for a fact that even if they are left out in the first week of knockout stage, they can come back on the second.
Yeah, no doubt at all. Rosario Central is just that kind of squad, right? Where you really don't need massive explosive runs for them on a daily basis. Just a single day, Rosario Central is more than enough for them to get the job done. But I'm wondering, why are they taking so long to warm up in the competition? I hope it's not exposing some sort of challenge within the squad. Zeus Esports has not been able to play their usual game, but they're still up there in the top 3. That's very scary.
Yeah, scary indeed. But speaking of top 3, like top 3 in Alpine. And so far, if we can include the knockout stage, they did have Booyah in here, but it's no better than what we've seen in the performance of T-Rex. T-Rex would be sitting this out from this group, so there's no contention right there in this map. And in the group stages, teams from Group A would be standing in first time in the Alpine map, because of the rotation that we have for this week, or for the remaining 2 weeks. We will see more of this, that some of the teams might not work that well in some of the maps that we have in their rotation.
Yeah, no doubt at all. I think obviously sometimes these maps kind of bring up a very unique challenge for some of the squads out in here, and that's exactly what we're looking for them to overcome in these battles. Tambres Esports is a team that does fairly well on Alpine. They've already secured a booyah here for themselves. Zeus has got a booyah here for themselves as well. And so that could be a potential big clash that we can look forward to. T-Rex, they'll have to wait for their own chance at Alpine. It's not going to happen today, unfortunately.
Let's see. So far, as we wait for the map to start off the fight, start off the flight as well. If I'm mistaken, we have a full squad right here, and I'm really looking forward to how or where they will be dropping, because Snowfall would be one of that area where everyone would be aiming for, especially of how far it is from center of the circle, as well as how huge the area is, so that they can get as much loot as possible. But in most instances, Snowfall has been taken by not just one team, so plenty of contention that is happening on the early parts of this game. So we'll have to find out though if this is something that they can fix, because some might be dropping into Garrison. very close to Snowfall. So a lot of contention right there. But the aim for every team is to get to Militia. A little bit closer in the middle, and that would give them more opportunities to the second, from the second to the third phase of the circle.
Yep, lesser rotations are always good because we've seen so many teams fail in their journey to rotate so far. But dropping straight into Militia might not be the best of ideas because at the moment we've already seen teams that rotate, teams that move compound to compound, teams that can hit as many coin machines as possible are the teams that are finding it, very possible to not just survive but thrive out here in the current meta. Because the coins are not just purely for revivals anymore, Neptune. The coins are mainly how you play a very aggressive game. You want to jump that, you got to have a couple of coins on you. You want some extra active skill cards, you got to have those coins on you.
Definitely. I mean, Tac Market has changed the pace of these games, and also the upgrade on the weapons arsenal. That is another thing. Though it costs a little bit more, but if you will really need some firepower, that is one thing that you need to focus on. So a lot of storylines that can be written, especially if you are going for those investment and winning those fights as well. And with the opportunities with getting for so much, because we've seen a lot of plays right here getting using that Susie as a passive skill as well, that adds more of those coins. So let's see if this is something that they can play with, if this is something that they can win with. Otherwise, some who are a little bit more in the mechanical skill side as well survivability can grab as much point as possible.
A little bit more, you say. the difference in mechanical skills here is wild in the competition, right? And sometimes the teams who can really not keep up at all, they just drown out in all of that noise. Is Rosario Central one of those teams that have just drowned out in the noise of really powerful squads in the competition? This is where it's going to be proven, right? Because if today they still don't wake up, I'm going to be very upset because I was looking forward to seeing Rosario Central not just in the grand finals, but dominating some of these games out there. I really wanted to see exactly what this new updated roster could do, but we haven't seen the best out of them. I hope we get to take a little peek. Galaxy Gaming yesterday, we talked about how it was a torturous day for them. They found maybe 2 or 3 eliminations per map, but they were getting kicked out of that very first circle game after game after game. It has been a tough one for Galaxy so far.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully they can bring in the big bang in this game. But as we take a look on the overall standings once again, this is where what everyone would be expecting to go in for a challenge. The aim for every team right here, though it's early, it's only in the first week. We have 2 weeks of knockout stage. The aim is to get to the top 12. And who's getting there already? Who's very close in there, especially from those from the 13th? PvP, 787 Esports, but unfortunately we didn't see them in the first match. And let's include E7 Empire, because 11 points against SNPT, easy for E7 Empire. We've seen their tenacity, we've seen their aggression, and they can bring in the numbers.
Yeah, no doubt at all. I think they can not just bring in the numbers in a small way, right? But they can really cash in on those eliminations. If we take a look at the overall standings thus far in our knockout phase, Fox Gaming dominating the top, because whatever they had threw in yesterday as effort has continued on into today. Some teams are not able to keep up that exact same pacing. Novatos, I actually looked forward to seeing them play those final circles a little bit more today, but we barely saw them get there. In fact, actually, the first 2 games were fairly weak.
Yeah, let's see if they will be changing that right now. But at some point, there are a few teams that would be able to strengthen their rotation, especially with the more information that they gather all throughout these days. Because like the extended matches that we have, the extended days that we have, can give more opportunities for teams to really find their way, so really find how they want to play this. But for some, seems like it still has been a struggle overall.
Yeah, no doubt at all. I definitely think it has been a struggle, mainly because you've got so much of quality here in the FFUSC, right? You got to step it up, and if you don't take that opportunity, someone who's hungrier is going to sneak that away from you. Everybody's looking for the top 12, and we actually have very limited games available for them. Only 8 games per week, a total of 16 matches across the 2 weeks that we've got here at the knockout stage. At the end of the 16 games, you need to be the top 12. The bottom 6 gets eliminated. Only the top 12 has got a slice of our 30,000 USD pie.
Yeah, definitely. You need to get to that top 12, but it's tough. With a lobby just like this, with teams just showing up just like this, it gets even tougher. So I don't know. I don't know how we're going to turn things around, especially for teams who really need it. SNPD though, I still give a salute to this team for surviving. There's still a hope. If any of the players, any of the viewers out there, survivors out there, knows anyone from SNPT, please give them a buzz. Let them know that we're watching and waiting for them to get those elimination, get into group, because we didn't see them. I mean, movement aside, weaving in and out against teams, and we're not talking about like those in the bottom teams. We're talking about the top teams. When they go facing them, especially in compound gameplays, we can see a little bit of supreme gameplay, but they are just hiding it from this moment.
Yeah, I mean, no doubt at all. I think they've got so much more to offer out there. And I don't want to see that hidden anymore. You look at Alpine, you look at an opportunity. Do you want to take that opportunity or not is all the question. Because if you don't want it, Tamris will take it.
Let's see who's going to take it. Now, we are setting up once again in Alpine. Apologies for the delay, guys, because we are making sure that everyone is on point. Everyone is prepared to go for the battle. We don't want to have any missing players, any missing teams once again. And there you have it. No more waiting. Alpine is here from Blueville to in between Garrison and Railroad. That will be our flight path. It's based on the drops, though, that would depend the future of the teams.
What's the future going to be like if some of these teams don't start to step it up right now in the competition? Will the Punisher come early, or will they be able to just buy a lot of time until that final day in the knockout stage next week before they turn the heat up? We've seen teams do that. I mean, Red Eagle. And look at them as we speak of them. Red Eagle down, up against the Shinigamis early.
Oh, let's say Shinigamis right now. Mini Uzi in hand, a little bit of coins. The same goes for Red Eagle. And there you have it, Dauriz putting in so much of damage in this fight, bringing down a couple of Red Eagles to their knees. But we know how Benneking is. He does have that M590, but he's backing away. And also, Vending Machine being taken on the other side. So, not quite sure if he can give a little bit of that distraction. But the deed has been done. A revive for the teams has been done as well.
My goodness. Well, Red Eagle's not feeling it just yet, then, I guess. Shinigamis sneaking 2 points off of them, forcing Habichuela to back away. Vending Machine's there. But obviously, Red Eagle's not looking to fight Shinigamis. To pull in those revivals, way too risky. As they try to get away, though. Question is, will they be able to get far?
Yeah, I mean, great question to ask. Shinigamis with already 2 points, shots onto Habichuela, but they are just winning in and out. And it's taking quite a while for them. On the other side, though, revive has been done onto John B. And another, but the battle continues. And Venny King falls down. M590 not making those shots. And Garena would be hunting against players from Galaxy Gaming. A couple of them spotted. There goes Gui Gui Bot. So Fox Gaming still in the role to get a few elimination. And a lot of early engagement in this fight, especially in this new groupings.
No doubt at all. This one is going to be an explosive one if Fox continues just like this. But Rosario Central with 4 points already on the other side proves that they have woken up in the fight. The Empire, on the other hand, about to come crumbling down. Unbelievable. Los Cubanos now catching these players a tad bit off guard. And E7 out in 12th. That was way too quick.
Yeah, I mean, we were expecting them to have a little bit more fight in them, but that might be a little bit too more to ask in this battle. But, well, fortunately, That is bound to happen. Now, we have to deal with how they are going to play out, especially Nexados going against Galaxy Gaming. Sibolhan, 2v2 situation, glue wall, perfect timing, but Gino King with a time turner. Sibolhan steps into the fray with a Mac 10, and Gino King, Palmer rather, managed to go in for a knock, and that trip mine, unexpected, but still, it does the job.
Yeah, it definitely does the job. And Drytax looking for John B. This is the wrong team to be picking on, Tambriz. Zeus is not going to take this one lying down. Drytax and Nick. Nick's already out of there. Or at least he's trying to get out. Pablo spots him. Bison in hand. Goes for the spray down. Pablo, a sliver of health. As Nick fights right back. But the VSS brings that engagement to a final end. And Tambriz out in 11th. My goodness.
We're expecting them to get a booyah, but I guess they don't have that much resources early into the game. Most of the time that they are winning the fight is when they are left alone and from that drop. But as we can see, even Los Cubanos would be meeting getting another chance to meet up with Fox Gaming. So it's tough. It's getting real tough right now for a lot of teams. And as early as not even 5th minute, a couple of teams already eliminated in this game.
That's just not looking good. I was not expecting such a fast-paced game here. And Galaxy, at the very least, hanging on for their dear life, saying, nope, they can get out, not us.
Well, let's see. Galaxy Gaming still in the board. Los Cubanos, though, they will need to move fast. The Blues taking them, but doesn't put so much of damage yet. For the first or second, they can still tank this, but they need to be careful because Shinigamis would be in there. The goal is to get to the vending machine, buy a few more of those upgrades and weapons. Then they are quite well, especially with Cubanito with close to 2K on the coins.
Let's see whether or not he's going to do anything with the coins. Shinigamis up against Los Cubanos. You know, you can have all the coins in the world, but if you don't have the opportunity to get to the vending machine to use it, then it's going to be a GG. Shinigamis trying to make sure of that as they camp on this vending machine, looking for the Los Cubanos players. 2 found already, converted into coins. Silwill's on the chase. They want this off of Cubanos.
Oh, definitely. Shinigamis will want to climb up a little bit more in this fight, especially when they are left in 6th place from first 2 matches that we have. And they also have the 2 more opportunities, though. So final 2 matches for this group. And, well, Tank and Blue putting out those glue walls to spot out any stragglers. And Shinigamis still on their way in the next phase of the circle. But as we look and welcome 787 back, they might be meeting with Red Eagles in this compound.
What kind of version of 787 do we get this time around? Red Eagle. Reyes keeping his eyes on 787 and their movement. AWM in hand. Information definitely passed on to the rest of their team members here at Ripe. And no, not even waiting for Red Eyes to do something here. They take the fight straight to them. This is interesting. Chrono from afar. X-Beast on the ground.
What?
And those nades come flying in. A124 popped as well from the 787. They want to fight.
Yeah, definitely they want to fight. Steffi has been pulled out. Or was it the Steffi? Might be wrong. Here comes Domi. Going in, breaking down the glue wall. 787 has already broken through. Red Eagles putting a great fight, funneling them. Looks like a Sparta storyline right here. Put them in one line and they start shooting and winning those gunfights. But XB's needs to be picked up. Josh Fur is being done as well. Now, Domi has been lost. Chrono has been lost. Not quite sure what aggression would 787 hold at this point, but no more. They leave the area.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Oh!
Don't have much of a choice there as Faker finds them and Exados. Proving that an early fight might not just be the right idea here. Red Eagles, they need to get out as quickly as possible. Abichuela found. Faker from up top. VSK, Punisher, the rest of Anexados running in. They want a piece of Red Eagles and they will find it. Vanakin could not get away. Reyes did manage to get the jump, but the jump pad's right there. And a double jump pad. They had enough money for the investment. And Reyes still playing some sort of survival, hanging on for his dear life for the squad.
Reyes says, I'm out of here. I don't want to deal with you. We receive a lot of damage already from the early engagement. Anexados right here just taking so much from those battles. A good thing that they're camping not only on the vending machine, but also on that revive platform. And Faker is the one doing the deed of being Overwatch, getting information, but there's also risk of him being brought down the moment that anyone takes a spot on that tower. But speaking of spot, Los Cubanos, well, it's only Cubanito right here taking one spot. And might be seeing Blue, but Blue, you know for a fact that they will not go for an early and aggressive engagement. They're going here for survivability, get the top 3, and then that's when they roll with elimination.
Rolling with elimination sounds good when it comes to picking up those points. Fang outside the circle for a little bit as they're looking to see if or not it's going to be possible to catch out Cubanito who wants the vending machine. And it's going to get exactly that. But what play does he pull off here? Oh, this is a very sneaky one. 3,600 coins. Cubanito, what are you going to do with all that money?
Hopefully he's not spotted by Team Blue. Otherwise, it would just go to waste. Like, get that launch pad already. Get out of here. Find your spot. But on the other side, Rosario Central, not only are they finding a spot, they're finding Galaxy Gaming and bringing them back to the lobby. So, as quickly as this, 5 teams already out of the game.
I cannot believe the pacing of that engagement. That's exactly what we wanted to see from Rosario Central. They have woken up in the fight, taking the battle straight up to the opponents. Now Choco down on the ground. Fox finding a little bit of an engagement difficulty here as they come flying on out. Shinigami is not giving them space at all. MVP pulls one down. Sir Bills and Poco, though, drop. Garena popping off. And M590 Supremacy, Darius joins him as well. Fox Gaming just met their match. And Choco from afar. That grenade could do big damage here if Choco goes in for the finisher, but he decides to play it safe and head towards the vending machine to bring the rest of his buddies back instead.
Yeah, I mean, it could have been a 1v1 already if Choco goes for aggress. Probably pop a nade onto those couple of players that has been knocked out. Binoculars being used already, spots the final player. But Choco, not only is he doing a revive, but he can, or a heal up, but he can also go for a revive, but still missing 100 more coins. And the coin that is near to him is being chased by the other teams. Now, Shinigami's just guarding this, spots Choco, and Sir Wills might be able to finish him, and there goes the flank, boxing him out, and Fox Gaming is out.
Out indeed. Fox Gaming at the top of the leaderboard, and that's the curse. Everybody will not wish you well. Everybody will be wishing for you to fall so that they can sneak up the leaderboard as well. Los Cubanitos trying to sneak in to the top 18 here, but obviously it looks like Los Cubanos is going to continuously struggle with this pacing. Just one single elimination on their side so far, and playing survival seems to be tough in a lobby like this.
Yeah, well, let's see though. Finally, seeing a hitless. It's rare that we see a hitless in FFUSC, but now they are playing with a meta. They are finding their opponents as well. Now, they will need to find... It is Rosario Central, though, who's using this. And Feng has been spotted already from the other side. Focus in front of Rosario Central is in Shinigami's. So if they manage to spot them, bring them down, then they have an opening to get this compound and then head into next phase of the circle.
Absolutely. 13 elimination strong. And M590 straight to the head of Sir Wills, instantly causing him to expire. Doris stands no chance here as X-Kane hops on in. And Shinigami is out in 6th because the team that we have been talking about all day, Rosario Central, has decided to wake up.
They're getting all this energy from the talk. I don't know if they are hearing the call out, or just doesn't want to disappoint the fans out there, because the performance from a previous season, definitely they are getting a lot of fans, especially in FFUSC. But hopefully we will see more of them, not just in this match, but also in the following. Anexados, though, have done so much already. 10 elimination, 4-man strong, with a challenge from Zeus Esports in the middle would be quite strong. The only compound, if I'm not mistaken, out of this next phase of the circle, and it would be difficult to breach. But who's jumping in?
Oh my!
Out of nowhere, Los Cobanos just feeding Anexados.
Oh, yeah. Feeding indeed. Such kind hearts they have. Los Cubanos will be taken out of the equation because of that Bolt Maker Lightning Zone called upon as well. Anexados Bravery running in a 1-2-4 pop from the bottom of the stairs here. But the timing, as Zeus has not been rushed at just yet. Anexados thinking about this one. On the opposite side, FAQ just trying to hit one big time. Palmer on the double. David was sawn down on the ground. Anexados, the rush through is just not possible. Look at how the stairway has been barricaded.
Oh yeah, I mean, glue walls need to be pulled up, but you know how it is in this current meta. The glue walls doesn't go down that easily. But on the 4th place, missing the top 3, would be Team Blue, but they just went for survivability. But speaking of survivability, who's going to survive? A little bit of nostalgia in there with the full Portal Glow. And who managed to pull this off? I believe it is Rosario Central, coming far away, but only a couple of players remaining. And it is FAQ right now who have plenty of questions, and one of this is, will he survive?
Oh, Kane. Is he going to get saved? Brian from the back. Riptide Rhythm breaking down the defenses, and Rosario Central will not be able to get the save there. So one final survivor on their side. Well, even FAQ gets taken out of the equation now. It's a 3v2. Anexados stands a damn good chance. This will be their first booyah. Remember, Neptune, we asked for this from Anexados, and they are delivering. But going up against Zeus in this final circle is going to be a tough one. Pablo, thankfully, he doesn't have the right gun in his hands. The Winchester is definitely in the meta, but not the perfect gun for Pablo to dominate the final circle. And Anexados will claim it off of Zeus. A well worth effort to take their first booyah here in the knockout stage.
And that's one thing. I mean, the failure from that the final 2v3 versus Zeus is the loss of glue walls. And they've used up a lot of glue walls from that compound just to prevent Anexados from rushing in, lobbing all those grenades from M79. And it is all worth it for Anexados. They grab that booyah, first time ever in this in this knockout stage. And I'm loving how they're doing it right now.
Yeah, no doubt at all. That was not an easy one. And you saw those active skills on their side just used to perfection. We'll take a look at the summary of their performance in a little bit so that we can highlight some of their active and passives for you guys. But Anexados USA, we were talking about how they were just keeping up with the rest of the heavy hitters at the top without a booyah to their name. And finally, they find the fix for that. Nero, he's got a great sniper build on top of that Nero as well. The one and only Faker plus. He fakes, and then he fakes a little bit more.
That's a fake. I mean, if you can fake a couple more times, then be best on the sniper. And we've seen him already in there, like getting all those snipes. But I guess Rosario Central's or Zeus Esports, again, I pointed out that they have lost a lot of glue walls already. John B could have saved them a little bit more, but it's more of the pressure that Anexados has, and I think they are still feeling it outside of the compound. Being left alone, trying to prioritize on the shift, that is where Anexados just slowed down. Knockout happened as they hide out from that tree, and Pablo attempted to be helped, but John B was not in time, and the pressure of Anexados was just full on.
Oh, yeah, no doubt at all. This is the way you want to ramp things up the moment you get introduced into the lobby. But, sometimes better late than never. And Exados now, with the Booyah to their side, they've got another opportunity after this. 29 point. Not a massive one, but big enough for Anexados to smile.
Yeah, well, what I'm loving as well is Rosario Central's comeback.
Oh, yeah.
After being reintroduced from yesterday, it seems like they don't have that much in terms of numbers, but they are bringing on right now. Zeus Esports still putting themselves on the board, especially with 17 elimination. The Shinigamis, I mean, similar points, more on elimination, not so much on placement, but we are seeing them survive even longer. But speaking of survivability, Team Blue still at it, though missing one spot, one place to continue their top 3 reign, and this has brought them a little bit higher into the leaderboard on the 7th spot, if I'm mistaken, with just survivability.
Exactly, no eliminations at all. We talk about how Team Blue is one of the weakest teams when it comes to engagement so far. That's sitting, well, earlier it was the top 10, now it's in the top 12. That's ridiculous, Neptune. You even have Rosario Central down in the 11th spot with 29 eliminations, and Team Blue only has 27 eliminations, and they're sitting in the 7th placement. And this is all because of their survivability. And of course, I'm not just talking about this match standings, I'm talking about the overall standings.
Yeah.
So this is very impressive out of Team Blue. Los Cubanos trying to find that recovery, but still will be down at the very bottom of the leaderboard. They still need to hustle. Yesterday was a horrible day for them, and today isn't that great as well. Los Cubanos definitely has done well to get into the knockout stage, but getting past the knockout stage into the grand finals is looking to be a massive challenge, possibly impossible.
Let's see. I mean, they have a few more matches remaining in this game, so they just need to go for survivability. The only thing is, I don't think they are putting so much of effort on finding what rotation the other teams are taking, especially on previous day, because they're always being caught off guard. The engagement, sorry for the word, but it's a little bit weak for Los Cubanos, and if they know for a fact the weakness that they have, they will work on some of their strengths, or some of their potential strengths, which is survivability. We've seen that for other teams, SNPT, Team Blue, a couple of examples, but if Los Cubanos doesn't make this work, then they will be part of the bottom 6 by the end of 2 weeks.
This is going to be Purgatory game number 4. And as we head on into this matchup, we obviously want to also talk about Neptune, who's going to be the champions here. Blue have got a booyah on this Purgatory matchup. The rest of them obviously don't, because they've only played this map once. In fact, some of them have not played this map at all. 787, Anexados, Fox Gaming, Zeus, Group A basically, have not played Purgatory just yet. This is an opportunity for them now to take this and run away with.
Yeah, another team who really outperformed others, especially when we talk about this map, is Red Eagle, because they did manage to get plenty of elimination. Though they didn't take that booyah, as it did point out, it is Team Blue who managed to pull it off from yesterday when talking about Group C, and they are still taking that number 1 spot, only 1 point away from Team Blue. But as we look in Purgatory, a little bit of a smile in my face because of the skewed flight path, but it's not that skewed wherein everyone would be forced to go on the battle. But let's see on where teams will be dropping right now. Central might be meeting not 2 but 3 teams, so let's see who's pulling away. It's Galaxy Gaming, Rosario Central, and if I'm mistaken, this is Fox
and Tambris.
Fox Gaming, or Tambris rather. What, 4?
Yeah, 4. We get 4 for the price of 1, man. And Tambris just kind of sneaking in there into Central. Zeus up against them. There's not enough loot for everyone here, but thankfully a couple of vending machines. So this battlefield about to get spicy in a bit, and it's not even the high tier loot zone.
Yeah.
But enough guns for everyone for sure. What gun you get though is going to be a problem.
FGL, not a gun that you would want to use, but it can bring in damage. Pablo, though, he needs to get elevation if they're going to rock it with that SKS. Now, they do have the elevation, especially in this. They can get onto the side, but it is David 444 who goes down first. So Zeus' aggression would be hampered for a moment, and Tambres right now seems like they are buying their time, especially with Nick in there with M24, Overwatch, taking spot onto Wason, even John B. So everyone, the rest from Tambres, will be able to loot up.
Let's see if or not that's going to be enough time for them. Vending machines guarded here by Tambres. Smart play. Zeus. Not really bothering about the vending machine player as of this point of time. They know they will be able to overwhelm any team out there. Wason with the VSS. Ah, this gun. It's like a truck. Great rate of fire. Range, though, needs a little bit of control on that recoil.
Yeah, let's see if Nick would be able to land those shots. Riptide Rhythm onto Pablo. Doesn't do that much of damage. But angle, though, against Nick. Shots from both sides. But the damage being felt. And there goes the signal. Here comes Zeus Esports. Love their coordination. And even on the other side of the map, they are being chased. Time Turner, and the chase would end. There goes Kappa. But Zeus Esports only 1 point. Rosario Central will be joining the party.
Yeah, Rosario Central, they hear the music of gunshots and they want a piece of this. They want to dance to the tune that's being played out here through the guns of Zeus. Lightning Zone called upon them as well. David down into shut down. That's a big play. Big play.
Big play against Zeus Esports. Only Pablo remains.
GG.
And this is sheer dominance for today by Rosario Central. And I don't think even a zip line would save him. We've seen what happened to John B earlier. If you get that angle, you are down. And Into is already into the shot.
Oh my.
But chicks, though, this is a chase, bro. This is a chase.
Oh, yeah.
And it's a game on who gets that final elimination.
Yeah, and Tambres is like, okay, you know what, guys? Let's get out of Lumber Mill because somebody is going to rotate over here and possibly bump into us. Pablo trying to survive. VSK. No vending machine. He still needs to travel so far before he can hit a revive. And Rosario Central, they know this. Riptide Rhythm. Pablo down and Zeus eliminated early.
11th place. Not a place that you see Zeus take at this point. Following Galaxy Gaming and being taken out. E7 now going for survivability. AC80, they could have take shots already. Kane hit by 9. And Cubanito, they don't know where it's coming from. Because from the angle that we saw earlier, there's another one taking shots at them. So there's a lot of elevation being taken advantage by E7 Empire. At 9, missing those shots. Riptide Rhythm. And there you have it. Los Cubanos would be taken down a bit. Especially with the final player in there just hanging in the moment.
I don't know why every time I just see Los Cubanos, there's just some stupid song that keeps playing in my head. I'm not going to sing the song. It's too dangerous. Every single time. Pelirojo circles around. Ray about to be in trouble, but Pinalto there. Could come in here for the backstep, but it's Pinalto instead that gets pressured. And Ray just sits down. Doesn't do much.
Oh no!
And Pelirojo gets an easy double with a P90 of all guns from a range like that.
Oh, definitely. I mean, P90, mid-range, but it's more the accuracy they have. It's small, slit in from the door, and he could have been shot a little bit too early in there. So, valiant effort, but Los Cubanos only grabbing 2 points down on 10th place. As we look at Exados, seems like there's not so much of contention, but in a bit, they might be seeing either blue or red. That is the question. It is Team Blue or Team Red. That would be... No. Red is moving away. And it's not just like they're not putting out one player to go for a revive if they need a revive, but it's all the players going in outside Blue, and the rotation might be on towards Fire Brigade. But let's see if they'll be able to get close to the next phase of the circle. Team Blue, survivability still. But this time they're using a vehicle to get into play.
Uh-oh, this is an interesting rotation. Because Blue is about to come across
Red.
Ready, go. Yes, Blue's about to come across red. And yes, color theory again. You're gonna go purple. I know. But Fire Brigade. Interesting rotation route. Tambra is on the other hand, chilling outside the circle. We've got team boosters. We don't have an issue.
Yeah, I mean, team boosters overall, vehicles being used. I'm loving this kind of this kind of play from FFUSC right now, because it's rare we see a vehicle being used. And elimination wise from vehicle, we want to see that. It's been a while since we've seen elimination. But speaking of elimination, a few more might be meeting their fate, and it is Blue who will be seeing Anexados. A little bit too early in the drop though. Ben T. It's a good thing that is Faker who falls down first, and they have an opportunity to put the pressure on Brian. Now here comes a Team Blue, not going passive at all. They want to get those points, and how to do it? They eliminate Anexados.
If you want to get the job done, you got to get it done yourself. Blue managing to get away from Fire Brigade towards Central, and to their luck, they come across Anexados, but Anexados not going to be lucky at all. Chinokin, as he runs through.
Seeing anything.
Yeah. I think we've lost the feed. Do bear with us, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. We will be back with the broadcast in a little bit. And, okay, that didn't take too long at all. Thank you so much for your patience, guys. We are right back with the feed. And Blue, though!
Oh!
Alan Q knocked on his head from afar, but thankfully the pickup is instantaneous. Blue has managed to find a decent defensive spot, but it's on this lower ground here. And Rosario Central is looking, staring at them like hawks on a cliff.
Oh, yeah. The only saving grace is they have a vending machine. If in case needed, they will be using it. That they will need to invest on a lot of coins. We've seen a few coins in there on the ground being left. And let's see, though. I think it's a hit list that has been triggered, but not by Blue, though. I'm not seeing any target on them. It's Rosario Central who is put in the target. But against who? That would be seen in a bit. Now, Chicks has been spotted. Signals has been given. But they have to wait. Second to the third phase of the circle would be open. Otaku missed the shot by Eliezer. I'm not sure what's happening, but Shinigamis will need to put the pressure on Otaku because there's only one player remaining.
Chicks have been spotted. Responses have been given. Been a long time since I heard those words, bro. Shinigami. Otaku. Spray down. And obviously that was an easy one for them. Yeah, overwhelmed them with the numbers. Blue up against Rosario Central, who has decided to take the fight up against them. They've got the grenade launcher on their side. Chicks with the VSK, managing to find one, but the spray down. Response by Feng. Vending machine is here. Blue can recover instantaneously. FAQ outside, and Feng looking to guard the vending machine.
Yeah, FAQ already in the ground. Only one remains. Would he spend time to wait? Or will this be it? Into, I believe, would be heading in onto the other side, back to Central, I believe, and that's where a vending machine would be available, but it's a little too risky. On the other side, Tamriz, dry text. Oh, he has dried, and they are going against 787 Dami for the takedown. Now QK Lover left in here, but it makes a U-turn, sees red, and will need to get away, but he has been spotted already. He don't know where else to go.
Oh, yeah, he doesn't know for sure. Minor 787 6-7. Yarowa
What?
looking for just pure survival here. Panicking right behind him. Red on the approach. Easy point here for the Red Eagle squad. But still can't afford to take Yarowa down just yet. Yarowa almost with the knock. But XBs will secure the Winchester play. Supermed applied by XBs as well. Man, almost got burned there.
Almost. And E7, well, going for the chase. It is Anexados feeling the wrath of E7 Empire. They don't want to be left out in there with no points. Blue spotted as well. And there was a time where the tower is not, or taking the tower is not the best move, but not this time, not this year, not this meta. Because so far, a lot of those buffs has been used already. Prevent them from being hit that easily, from them going down that easily once they take that watchtowers.
Red Eagle under a lot of pressure now. Not just because E7 is taking these shots up against them. The next circle, they'll have to traverse through open grounds. For now, they've got a decent defensive space. They have to hope and pray that another team distracts E7 so that they can have a open ground. They do scan the area with the binoculars. The question is, who's using these binoculars, man? We have no idea. Shinigamis could have used the binoculars towards their right. 787 could have scanned the area right in front of them since they were the ones rotating. Could have also been a scan of Red Eagles trying to plan early to pull this rotation in. Lightning Zone will be called upon.
Oh. Well, let's see.
The Chrono will hit one. Abichuela as well. My goodness, 787 not giving them any room to breathe. And Red Eagle, I think that's about it, right? The squad would have gotten annihilated.
Well, they're still on the board.
Huh?
I don't know.
How?
But we have 4 teams remaining. I guess that's just something. That's a glitch that would be fixed in a bit.
Okay.
4 teams remaining at this point.
I was like, wait a minute.
But 787, like we were watching E7, and they were just spectator in that battle. 787 was on the other side, so they caught what this team of Red Eagles was waiting to do. But Blue's duck in there being the hunter in this game. Shinigami's still not bringing him down, but there goes the grenade. It might be it. There's the following shots. And it is Dow Riz with AC-80. Managed to end his life. Now, top 4 once again being taken by Blue. But on the top 3, none of the top dogs, none of the kings will be in here. We have Shinigamis, E7, and 787.
Oh, he's going to walk away with this booyah here. 787, no booyahs to their name just yet. You can say the exact same for the E7 squad as well, who have been struggling with their pacing. Shinigamis, all 3 teams have not secured a booyah so far in the knockout stage. But it is E7 Empire that is struggling the most in the grand scheme of things. 787 sorted out E7. This is the game where they wake up. Time turn to play though. And that puts Jeff down on the ground. E7 looking for that recovery.
Oh, no.
White second guessed whether or not he should pick up his team member and paid a big price for that. Sprayed out by Shinigamis. And now that's a 3v2 advantage for Shinigamis.
Yeah, and pressure of the Blue would also be coming down on team of E7 Empire. And this is where they sing that song under pressure, because that is what they're feeling right now. Sir Will's great valiant dash to win it, and Shinigamis for the booyah.
Yeah, boy. That's a brilliant play, and Shinigamis picking up their first booyah in the knockout stage in a convincing fashion. Many challenges faced across the battlefield here at Purgatory, but they managed to survive them all, getting into the very final circle. And of course, a little bit of luck had to go their way as well. So they took advantage of that situation, of that chaos, and snuck away a couple of extra points for themselves. You got to respect that out of Shinigamis.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I mean, we've seen some great plays coming from the team, and now that is one well calculated play because
Yeah.
there are a few threats in the early parts of that game, but it doesn't matter if you can go for survival. Poco MVP 12 will be our MVP using that Tatsuya as well as with addition of Shani, Joseph, and Tiva. It's a rusher support build right here, but also use a marksman or a sniper with AC-80. But you can see how passive Shinigami is. Only 2 elimination and 950 on the damage. Does manage to get 6 assists and 1 headshot, but well, it is what it is, and they are willing to roll with it as long as they get that booyah.
Yeah, and we talked about what's the average number of points you're supposed to be walking away with. 12 points is decent. They managed to, I think, take about 21 points off of this match. There were a couple of matches where they didn't do all that too well. I believe in one game they only got 5 points. So this is a great recovery game for Shinigamis. They definitely needed this. And it's the final bout for them within today, right? They're from Group A, and they have now fully completed their run available here in Week 1. So the number of points that Shinigamis have managed to pick up for themselves, I mean, not the greatest, but definitely more than enough to at least stay in the top 12 by the time we come to the end of Week 1.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, this alone will bring them a little bit higher in today's ranking and also on the board of the Booyah as we look into the match schedule. 4 matches in, and no one has managed to get the back-to-back, especially for Group A. They will be sitting this out, and we're going to welcome Group B into the mix. But before we go there, we have match standings. And, well, total 21 points. E7 Empire just flip over of elimination as well as placement. But it doesn't matter. As long as they get that number 1 spot, get more points in their bag, they are willing to take this. Rosana Central, though, despite of being eliminated early, they did the work, 11 elimination, and they're still on the board.
And obviously, Red Eagle wanted more from that game, but they had to falter, only walking away with 6 eliminations, 6 placement points. Not too bad. 12 points. That's my cutoff. Team Blue with the 11. I'm still gonna hug them. There's 1 point off the mark. But for the rest of them, definitely down at the bottom. This is going to be a challenge. For Zeus, Anexados, as well as Fox Gaming, nothing much to sweat about. But Thambris, Los Cubanos, as well as Galaxy Gaming, they now need to start worrying about their stride in the competition. Thambris, not so much in terms of getting eliminated from the top 12. It is more towards how are they keeping up with the firepower of the rest of the squads if they want to run away with the championship this season.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, they really need to speed it up, because if you're left in there very close to the bottom 12 of this of the 18 teams that we have right here, then it would be troublesome. And we've seen a lot of disappointment, especially with the tiebreaker that we have in these matches. If you're left in there with, like, say, tie or even 1 point behind, and you get pushed down into the 13 or past the 12 spot, then that would be disappointing at all. And those teams who manage to put so much of effort, as NPT, is right there on the 15. E7 Empire, with that performance, though, brings them a little bit higher compared to what we've seen them from yesterday.
Yeah, no doubt at all. I think E7 Empire is that slow cooking squad, right? We didn't really see E7 really ramp it up till the little bit towards the end of the group stage. So I'm expecting a similar track record out of E7 this time around as well, because they're not really bad. We can see exactly what they're trying to do with their rotations. They have been a little unlucky with some of those encounters so far, I have to say, right? Things just are not going their way. That happens to some teams as well. But no doubt at all, E7 Empire is just one of those squads who can just surprise you with one decent day of play. We're going to be taking a quick short break. When we come back, Group B is going to be back in action. Group A will sit this out. Groups B and C once we get back.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the show. This is Free Fire USA Championship 2025 Winter Edition. And so far, 4 matches in, 2 more to go. And we are going to get into the battle with Group B and C. And looking forward to how they're going to perform this time around.
Absolutely. And when we look at this grouping, we are looking at obviously some teams really rising up to the top. It is a possibility for, once again, Nova to kick things into high gear. We're going back into Bermuda, and that's a good news for this squad because this is exactly where they scored their booyah yesterday as well, right? 20 eliminations. It was a massive game for them. Looking forward to that. But there are also some teams who need to recover their play who are down at the bottom. Red Eagles, I think they haven't really stepped it up today. We've got Galaxy who are continuously torch it out there, looking for that survival, maybe a little bit tougher right now because obviously no one would want it for themselves.
Yeah, definitely. But you know how it is in Group B. They will be having T-Rex as well as 5-star in here. From yesterday in Bermuda, it seems like they are not that strong. But we've seen the strength of T-Rex for today. Rosario Central will need to do that much because this at the group stage, or knockout stage rather, this is the first time that they will be playing in Bermuda. And I'm looking at the list of Group C right now, and these are the ones who are currently like taking the bottom half of our leaderboard. So hopefully they can make good strides for today so that at least they can put themselves up higher and not in the risk of being taken out.
What will we encounter on this Bermuda map? What will be the answer for some of the teams who are struggling in here? This is the first time Group C will play Bermuda as well. We did note that yesterday, out of Group B, Nova had a really jolly time here. 5 stars struggled. The rest of Group B struggled. And therefore, that means that many teams from the side of Group C would have a possibility of climbing into that final circle as well. You're looking at teams like Blue. You're looking at teams like Red Eagle, Rosario Central, as well as Tambres. Tambres obviously looking for a little bit of a fix in terms of their approach. They're looking for Booyah number 3. Maybe Bermuda can serve that up.
Oh, let's see though. Let's see. I mean, Tambres, though, despite of not getting or putting that much in terms of elimination, we know that they can find a final circle. They can get the Booyah as well. 2 Booyahs already from the first few games as well as yesterday. So they're not far behind. They can secure all those, but it would depend on who they will be meeting up in all of those rotation. But you did mention about Team Blue. Survivability is still on them. They have let go of some of the top 3s, but they are taking the top 4 in those engagements. But no more waiting. The flight path is coming from Observatory to Sentosa, and those islands is looking like a threat for a lot of teams right here. They are going, like, a lot of going for the edges, and that would put a risk for some who goes in for the hot engagement.
I like the drop into Observatory here for Blue. They're not going to be disturbed by anybody else. PvP heading on in for the high tier loot zone. They have to be very careful because T-Rex is in the compound right beside them. And there is a little bit of a hot drop here. I believe that is Novatos, and well, we've taken a quick pause on the game. We'll see if or not we will proceed with this match or if we need a remake, because there could be a possibility that perhaps a couple of players did not make it into that flight.
Yeah. And that's one thing. We just want to make sure everyone is set, ready, and hopefully they will be able to recover. But well, we'll have to see though. We'll have to see if there's something that we might see differently from that flight path. But we just have to pause the game for a moment. And don't fret. I'm pretty sure they are all fired up right now to start that fight.
At this time, let us assure you, it was not a technical difficulty. It was one of the teams who have kind of messed up. I think they broke a rule. We'll just have to quickly remake that and let the teams know that perhaps they shouldn't be doing something that they just did out there. Can't really tell you exactly what it is, but it's all right? We don't have to dwell on that too long. What's most important is this does not break the rhythm of some of those teams out there. I'm very sure they were pumped. You know, they wanted to go out there, and now they got to start that all over again. Again, Nova looking for that Booyah, but we are looking at Team Blue really climbing the leaderboard as well. 1 Booyah to their name so far. 49 placement points. They are all the way at the bottom in the 9th spot, but Blue has got the most placement points in this competition. But they also have one of the weakest engagements, one of the poorest elimination points in our top 10.
Yeah, exactly. But the top 10, as did mention, just above them would be Red Eagles. And
Yeah.
the battle between red and blue still continues. I know,
Yes.
color theory, but you've seen how Red Eagles is going for those fights. Elimination-wise, they are rocking it. Like, they know how to choose their fight. They know how to isolate some players, but it's just unfortunate that halfway through the game, they get eliminated early. Thus, the placement point is quite a reverse from what we've seen on Team Blue.
Yeah, no doubt at all. I think, blue and red, the battle between one being better at placements, one being better at eliminations, who gets to overtake the other. And as fate would have it, for them to be right beside each other with 1 point being the difference between the two. Right? Team Blue only has 80 points to their name. Red Eagle have got 81 points to their name. Red Eagle and Blue will both be playing, not just today, but throughout the whole knockout stage, because they have the unfortunate chance of being stuck together in the same group.
The thing is, AJ, we're also representing these teams. You got the blue, I got red.
That's true. That is true.
So I love the storyline right here. We'll have to see if they're going to carry it on, keep it close, because you did point out that they're coming from the same group. So it would be really tight.
Yeah.
And it's a good thing that they're also taking both ends of the spectrum, because if they're both going for elimination, either one will be left behind. So one's going for survivability, the other one's going for elimination. But we have yet to see how to make it work, because so far the kings of survivability, though they're not making it to top 12 just yet, is SNPT. And we want to see still imploring that they show up differently, similar to what we witnessed in the latter part of the group stage.
Yeah, I think we are going to see SNPT in the grand finals. We don't have to worry about them too much. A little correction though, I did say that Team Blue has the most number of placement points. That is incorrect. They have the second most number of placement points. Zeus Esports has got 55 placement points. I mean, with one Booyah to their name, the most consistent top 3 team that we have in the competition. Impressive how they are able to do that. They sit down at the very top of the leaderboard with a total of 126 points. They have just overtaken Fox Gaming.
Yeah, and Fox Gaming, on the other hand, has the most elimination in these games. 2 Booyahs and only 1 point difference against Zeus Esports. So I thought they were done for already for day number 2, but no, they are still continuing it, and they're very, very close to catching up. Yesterday, they finished off second with 82 total points, but now with a couple more games remaining, they might be able to do it once again, especially for, I believe, for the rest of the matches. They have no contention because it's Anexados, Shinigami, Zeus, T-Rex, who is taking the top 3 right now, but it would depend. Oh, they will be an arrest. Apologies for that. They will not be playing for a couple of matches, so I guess it would be left for tomorrow for Fox Gaming.
Yeah, absolutely. Tomorrow, they only have to do scrims, Neptune. They'll have to come back next week. So it's okay. Because I was thinking the same thing as well, right? Tomorrow when we go, but then again, I thought, thank God I don't have to wake up early again. Bermuda is the next map. Again, we hit the reset on this, looking to see if or not Group C is going to run away with the game. They have not played Bermuda so far in this knockout stage. They definitely have shown up in Bermuda very many times when we were playing it in the group stage. And this is where, again, Tambris holds on to 3 Booyahs. So we cannot forget their presence as well. They are very good at this map.
Well, let's see. Let's see if they will show up this time around. Because earlier, from what we witnessed, Tambris did have a little bit of a challenge. But I mean, that's left to be broken. Because currently, 2 matches remaining for Group C. And they are... like, Tambris only had 6 in total for the first 2 that we witnessed. So, well, here we go. The flight is on. The teams are now dropping, and let's see where they will be landing.
A couple of hot drops right in the middle. Tambris versus Galaxy versus who's that? PvP versus What more? My lord, Red Eagle, everybody want... No, Red Eagle's like, nope. We are
Not
out of
this
here.
time.
That's too much. That's too much of heat.
Yeah, Tambres right now against Galaxy Gaming. A team that they really can go against. Especially with Galaxy Gaming not doing that much. PvP, on the other hand, would also be joining the party. Now, would take down for the backstab. And let's see if there's something that they can survive. QK Lover right now would be targeted. And Elgang, despite of being taken out early, there's still a good chance that they can recover. PvP, 2 elimination. Shadow knockdown. Vending machine is still on them, but they will need to be cautious because you know how it is when Thomas is in play. They might throw your gameplay out the window. Great time turner being used by Wax 7 to survive, and even Drytex couldn't keep himself alive.
Nah, I mean, Drytex got caught in a 2v1. Oh, God, Rosario Central dropping by as well to say, hey, we heard there's a party going on. Are we invited? Well, we don't know. We don't care. We're going to crash this party either way. Shadow on the way back. Chicks, BSK. QK Lover meets him halfway down, though. Gets the tag onto him with the Mag 7, and they take each other down simultaneously.
It's just unfortunate. And then it would be Rosario Central who would be getting all those points themselves. But quick recovery by Chino to bring them teammates back. Drytex would be in there. And Tambres, in spite of all the hopes of getting Booyah, they get eliminated. It's not over for PvP. 6th elimination. Wax 7 will be taken down, and Elgang not even reaching the ground. The rest of the teams is already out. So Chicks would be revived, and Rosario Central, the first minute that they drop into peak, they will get their 5 elimination.
Brilliantly played by Rosario Central. Saw the super hot triple drop at peak, dropped nearby, and managed to circle around in time to take advantage of that chaos. Buscamineru with the score on to put in. Play JK, still going for the save. Pulls this off. Irritating guy to face up against on the opposite side. You can't even sneak a point off of his squad.
Well, that's one thing. Pick up priority for the team. Even having that Zane being picked up from the ground helped them to survive further, and they managed to get a payback against Buscamineru. Now, there goes a finisher, and the rest of the T-Rex would be heading in onto this next target. It would be Duck, who's just ducking and hiding out, guarding the vending machine. RGS still not putting that much damage.
I love the fact that T-Rex takes the jump pad and they never ever move on in the exact same direction, dropping the exact same spot, expecting the first player to pull out a glue wall, a time turner, and then everybody just kind of just hopes and prays everything goes well, right? Every single player takes their own position and they flank around whichever of their opponents that's in that compound, and they execute this play so well time and time again. Play JK though will be taken down by Supreme, but he does have his skill, which he popped at the perfect time. I wonder what skill that is that managed to take just a little bit of HP off of his opponent, and yet another simultaneous knockdown in this map.
Yeah, well, we'll have to see though. We'll have to see the next time we see them. But SNPT not looking good. Supremo has been taken down, but as we look into a battle of Cold versus 5-star, little no chance of being safe. But Brown, though, does he have an angle to either take Dabadu or at least one player? But the battle continues. Chino being taken down by player JK with that M82B. And Bolakarn, AUG for the rush. I don't think there's any pressure at all for T-Rex coming from Galaxy Gaming. And that forces one player from Galaxy Gaming to move away.
Yeah, Galaxy. I think this one is a tough one. Wigui has the biggest chance of surviving. Bolhan will not be surviving this one for much longer. Oh, but wow. He jukes his opponents. T-Rex on the hunt. Finally finds Bolhan. And Bolakan sorts him out. M590. Will be able to pull that one away. And T-Rex just smashing him down.
Yeah, but it took the time before they managed to get that hit. And here comes the pressure from Good Bot. Now, I guess the graveyard is not an option for them anymore, especially with Novatos in the area. Being put down. Coldo still bringing a couple of their players back in play. But player JK, 1v1 against Kakaroto, as well as Buscamineru. Let's see if he'll be able to make it. Glue wall.
Wow.
Perfect timing, and still managed to get a hit.
Double Riptide Rhythm, but the time turner in there. It's waiting for it to time out.
Whoop.
Just behind the tree, player JK, still deadly. Great glue walls to play around with, but the lightning zone will pressure him, and he just pulls out a double glue wall to keep himself protected.
But here comes the rest of the team of T-Rex, going for the rush. Not dropping a beat.
Wow.
And here comes the rescue. Cavalry has arrived. And that Nero prevented Novatos and putting up the glue walls. But they're not out just yet, I believe. There's still a couple or one player, which is Kakaroto. So not quite sure what the plan is. But I guess if T-Rex spots them, or spots him, they will be going for the jump.
Play JK like the hot-headed brother that you have in your group of friends. He just goes poking around. At one point, he doesn't get knocked down. He's like, oh, okay, all right, guys. Can you all help me out here?
Please.
And you know you can depend on the rest of them. My goodness, what a rush that was. Player JK barely needed to do anything after that. And again, Kakaroto, Novatos being toasted by T-Rex, especially player JK.
Yeah, I guess there's one player that has been revived already. I'm not seeing Novatos out being eliminated. Same goes with Blue. Because earlier, they were in trouble. Duck was spotted alone, but now they have to deal with a different set of teams. It's E7 Empire, who's just roaming around. And I'm not quite sure who popped off. I guess it's Blue who popped off those that Nero Cry of Mine. But as we head into the other side, it is a battle carried over from the previous season. T-Rex against Rosario Central.
Let's see if or not they're going to be able to centralize all of their firepower towards one spot. Instead, that's exactly what happens to them, putting down on the ground. Easy pickup, Rosario Central. Out in 11th, a early encounter with the raging T-Rex does not fare well for them.
Let's see. On the other side, we have Team Blue. Ben T still surviving. One elimination to his name. Valiant dashes away. But there goes Jeff into the ground. Duck and Ben T needs to work hard. Duck needs to recover, but Feng will not be picked up. Players from E7 reigning this empire. And Duck would need to go for a revive. There goes Ben T and Alan Q back in play. Peli Rojo trying to pepper him with a few of those shots, but puts up the glue wall, but he might be the one taken down.
And the MP40 still holding him together. Looking for those shots. Wildly just praying. Vending machine play. Can go in for one revive. We'll just buy a little bit of time as Alan Q hops on into the battle as well. And Blue will sort the situation out. They've got the vending machine here at the clock tower. Easy revive to bring their buddy back.
And it won't be letting this go. 9 would need to tail tails right now. And we'll have an airdrop. Not quite sure if it's smart to get that airdrop. It's pretty sure they will be spotted in there. Turning tails would be a best plan for them. For Dark, well, revive platform still available outside Blue. A little bit of help with that team booster. But Wandani Mag 7 takes down Heat. And Novatos grabs their first 5 points in this game.
16 already for T-Rex. Looking for 17. Gui gui. Oh, double connection. Player JK with the VSK, just so dangerous, but look at the flank from the right. The rest of the team members on the side of T-Rex, finding Gui Gui Bot as well. Put in with the AC-80, looking for the shot. Bolakan will be able to catch one. with the M590. He turns his back onto the player right behind him. He knows the shots haven't broken down the glue wall just yet. Makes one mistake and a great spray down onto Bolakan. Followed up by another glue wall to find the finisher. T-Rex with one small mistake there.
Oh, one small mistake, but huge win for the wonderful players from Galaxy Gaming. Gives them a little bit of confidence. But on the other side of the map, off camera, we're seeing Red Eagles taking out 5 stars, and they would be on 10. But the revive has been put in already on T-Rex. They will be back in play. Player JK missing that shot. M590 from Gui Gui, but this might be it. If they manage to get all this elimination and spot all players of T-Rex, they will be putting themselves in the board. But Putin will not be staying up, and it's left to Bolakarn for survivability.
Oh, brilliant game. 17 eliminations strong with the Rebel Rush. Dropping at the very edge of the circle. He's going to take quite a bit of damage now. And T-Rex looking for some way to survive here. Bolakan, 800 coins in his pocket, 2 revives. But this is very late into the game. It's going to be a risky play for sure for Bolakan.
Yeah, and a lot of people already in Clock Tower guarding the vending machine. Even those coin will not be easy to be grabbed. SNPT on one side, while survivability on the team is something else, but the only difference is they're putting up elimination as well, and they might be able to spot Bolakarn right here.
Yep.
Supremo already on the roll, but no.
Wow.
He makes a turn, hides out, and just waited for next phase. So no surprise that they will be leaving Bolakarn for the moment. But everyone might be engaging onto the other side, because there goes 9 being taken out of the play zone. But Supreme putting so much of pressure onto himself, trying to survive. He still heals up outside the blue.
Big play here from Bolakarn. And he's not too far away from a vending machine. Currently being gate-kept here by Galaxy, and T-Rex could not get far enough this time. Early N. Red Eagle, though, looking for the shutdown onto White. They know he's up there. Grenade! And White protects himself well for the time being as Galaxy gets taken out in 8.
Yeah, Galaxy Gaming out in 8. Well, it's a good thing that they managed to survive a little bit longer than T-Rex. But for Red Eagles, the battle's not over just yet. Though they're dealing with 1 players from E7 Empire, we might be seeing PvP right here with a jump. Oh, a little bit short, though, for SNPT to get into the next phase. But Supreme still on that vehicle. Of course, if there's an opportunity for a revive right here, but this might be it for SNPT because the pressure from Red Eagles is in there. Reyes on the snipe with VSK and with help as well by Novados. SNPT will be taken out on 7, and Reyes, so good thing help is there, but that was too close.
Oh, that was a damn good shot. 6 more teams left in here, 20 players. Final circle time. And there's just too little landmass here for 20 players. Next zone is going to be deadly. Cold versus Empire versus Blue. Novatos on the opposite end. Brown finds one. E7's out of the race, and now that puts Cold directly in the crosshairs of Blue.
Oh, I see though. Cold already in the move. Novatos though on long flank, but this circle is just perfect for a lightning zone to be pulled up. Who would be winning this fight? Blue being taken down by Black of Team Cold, and Cold gets the 10th elimination. Unfortunate that they lost 1 player, but they can roll with this. For Red, on the other hand, they are losing out. They need to reposition. The Blues closing in, but straight into Novatos and little chance of survival.
Yeah, oh, what a play by Reyes. Reyes on the landing, VSK to the face, literally. And XB's the final one in here, trying to get to Veneking. Won't be able to get far enough as Veneking gets sprayed down and out. Red Eagles, no booyah for you, says Cold. Heartlessly taking them out there. But that sets this up for a Novatos Booyah. PvP trying to prevent that. Cold working against Novatos. PvP and Cold pounding Novatos. And that can only mean for the very first time either Cold or PvP will pick up a Booyah here in the knockout stage.
Let's see. Great Hill UAV usage right here. Oh, they also have a Glue UAV to help the fortification, but a shift is about to happen. And it is favoring Cold, but Brown will be on the ground. And what? With the AC-80 hit. Now, they are the elimination leader. PvP against Cold on a 2v4. PvP has advantage, but hopefully they don't go overconfident because they do have the favorable side of that shift. There goes the hit. Outside the blue they play, and Wax missed that step, but PvP grabs that Booyah.
You gotta love it, the way this was executed off of PvP. And this is the team that's currently looking for the top 12. PvP, the last time we checked in on them, they were sitting in the 16th spot with a total of 43 points. Not too far away from breaking into top 12. 787 didn't perform. Cold Esports got far in, but the rest of them perhaps did not throw in enough. This is a huge opportunity for PvP now to launch themselves into the better side of their gameplay because they've been struggling for a while.
Yeah, there's a lot of struggles for PvP, but not anymore. They are playing great PvP at that moment, and our MVP would be Wax 777 using that chrono. And it's rare that we see an MVP having that time turner on him. Most of the time, it can be bought, it can be picked up, but it doesn't matter. He wants that available on him, especially if he's going for a rush with that Bison. But a Joseph, J Beebs, as well as an Andrew makes him a little bit more tankier, dealing with 7 elimination and 2,548 in damage. 6 headshots. Imagine 6 headshots, 7 elimination. So that's very close to 100% headshot conversion.
Oh, that's insane, man. And of course, Andrew, one of the rarest kills to see out there these days, but he wanted to go for a full tank build, not really prioritizing recovery or whatsoever. He just wanted to negate all of the damage that his opponents would be able to lay on him so that he can be a little bit more of a survivor in these gunfights. And that's exactly what he got out of that matchup. And towards the very end, Cold, it wasn't an easy game for them, but they should be able to make sure they don't fall too far back behind PvP, because obviously PvP will overtake them on the leaderboard because of that Booyah, but they had 15 eliminations to their name before this encounter.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, they put themselves in a great spot already because of all those engagement that they got in here. And another team takes the board in Bermuda. I'm loving the storyline in FFUSC, especially in knockout stage. But let's see, it is PvP with 27 points. And how we started off before this game, believe that Cold Esports is still on the lead. So given the fact that they got a Booyah only 3 points ahead, it's still Cold who would be above them. But the Booyah, though, is something else. T-Rex, despite of being eliminated a little bit early, only 2 on the placement point.
My
that
God.
17 elimination did help.
That is ridiculous. 17 eliminations and 2 placement points made no difference to T-Rex that they got taken out prematurely in this game. They had already hustled way more than the other squads by that time, and they are literally at the very top of the leaderboard here with 19 points, sitting in the top 3 alongside PvP and Cold Esports, who hustled their way into the final circle. That is very impressive. Red Eagle as well faltered early, but I'm not going to complain. 16 points is more than enough for me to see Red Eagle in the top 12. And of course, the biggest question is, what did PvP manage to do off of that Booyah? Did they manage to sneak into the top 12? We'll have to take a look at the overall leaderboard later on after game number 6 that happens on Nextera.
Yeah, Nextera indeed. Quite a pace wherein Novatos has taken a lot of points already. But when we look in Nextera, and we know that Group C hasn't been introduced here just yet, no one, even from Group B, has grabbed a Booyah. But Novados did manage to get a lot of elimination, 14 to be exact, and 5 on the placement. So there's a good chance that they will be taking it. But in terms of survivability, T-Rex managed to do even better from yesterday. So let's see what storyline they will be following this time around.
High tier loot zone down here at mud site. There is a risk you're going to have a lot of teams around you because Boxing Gym is not too far away. An Intellect Center here chosen by team called Novatos on the hop. And it looks like a early encounter with PvP is on the cards here for Novatos.
Oh, let's see. PvP, grabbing a Booyah. Hopefully they don't get the curse. But you can see the split up. 3 already heading into that high tier loot area. L Gang being left behind, probably just spotting where the opponents are. And I'm loving this version of PvP. If this is what they're trying to do, just take both sides of the map and then spot on who will be dropping or how many people would be on the other side. Just in case they want to go for a revive, then that's the plan. But 3-way, 4-way, I'm not surprised anymore because a lot of teams has been chasing a lot on those drops.
What are they going to be able to pull off of this one? PvP up against Supreme, SNPT. Novatos watching this battle. Wax tagged up. Buscamineru trying to get involved so that he can sneak 1 point away for his squad. As Novatos, PvP, as well as SNPT all aim for the high tier loot.
Oh, let's see if they can get the loot. But first, they need to deal with elimination. And Kakaroto going down. Max 7 doesn't work that well against MP40. Now, here comes the flank from SNPT. 3 players. 1 goes against Wax. 777 doesn't even need the rest. This is what we are asking for. SNPT showing up. There you have it. Supreme once again on a roam. And that's the guy who's making it work for SNPT. Like the rest of the teams, just leave the 3 players in there, do their job. And Supreme will just be backing them up. Just Kaminaru will not be surviving. And SNPT's aggression being fired up.
And PvP is out early. SNPT, can you play your revives here when 5 stars wants a piece of you? Early on, 5 stars looking for the domination. And the greatest survivors, SNPT, are the victims here who are being hunted. And Supreme 2, as a matter of fact, won't be able to get away. 10 teams left in here. Red Eagles joining the party.
Red Eagles right here dropping in against 5 stars. The drop, though, a little bit too risky out in the open. Plus the lightning zone. Habichuela. And there goes Habichuela for a shot from afar. Now, let's see if they will manage to survive this even longer. UAV being put up. And I guess it's 5-star who has used this lightning zone. Boltmaker. And they're not even phased of being hit with those drops. But speaking of drop, Dragon has been dropped. Red Eagles still in roll of aggression.
Red Eagles have got the numbers advantage here, which 5 stars are lacking because they're splitting up, trying to play survival as they try to get out of the compound. Vending machine will have to be sacrificed here, 5 stars. They want to camp on the vending machine, and I don't think they know the kind of trouble that awaits them. Revival brought through, Dior and Brew. Kind of figure out maybe it's not a wise choice to stick around. Dior is going to be that sacrificial lamb that hangs around to distract the players of Red Eagle, if in any case they do decide to pursue the boys of 5 stars.
Hell, let's see. I mean, they did manage to get away. No one from Red Eagle spots even Nabadu, who just came back. And a full squad revive on 5-star. There goes the Dinoculars. Red Eagles know that there's still a few players right here. The only question is, do they have the skill, other than the Dinoculars, to spot out their opponents? And it's a little risky, but there goes the shot. And as well as the Cryo Mine tagging up 2 players from 5 stars.
Yeah, beautiful tag there with the Cryo Mine, Reyes. Brilliant player out there. And Dior stood no chance up against that M82B. Headshot from afar. Veneking with the push. Has to recover, though. And thankfully, the electrotherapy is there in their hands. Habichuela, on the other hand, could not do much in that landing. M590 straight to his chest. Venom King taken out of the equation as well. And all of a sudden, Reyes is like, oh, okay, maybe not. I'll catch you guys later.
Yeah, turning tail right now. Dior on the chase, a little too aggressive. The rest of the teams backing off, but the chase was for the vending machine. Dior make that shot with an M1887. But there's still chance for Red Eagles to survive. Even if Reyes gets tagged and knocked down, they are still in this play. So only one player remain, and they force battle between 5-star and Cold.
Unbelievable. Habichuela still in here. Red Eagle did manage to take that portal, quickly reposition to avoid Team Blue. Habichuela. Another portal.
Smart.
He's just beaming himself around the battlefield.
I thought I was tripping. I thought he was glitching. And then I forgot. This is next era.
I know, that sounds like portal, nephew. Portal.
Cool. I mean, Portal Go, it has been used earlier, but it's an old meta. So next era's Portal is something else free for a fact. But let's see. Speaking of free, this might be some free elimination that would be taken by 5-star, but Dabadoo has been taken because of the numbers of players. But here comes a payback. Rue, though, down the ground. Brown still links to survive. Unfortunately, there goes Dabadoo with a comeback with that Bison and Cold. Out Cold in 10th place.
All games you can purchase a Portal Go, but next era has a Portal Stay. So sometimes you don't have to waste your money. But now, Dinoculus, sticky situation. Intellect Center is so busy. Tambres up against Rosario Central could just be on the menu here. Kane on the ground. Chase here. T-Rex in the mix as well. Putting down on the ground. Bolacan trying to save his buddy. We'll be able to get to him just in the nick of time before he expires.
Perfect timing. Puddin has been revived. Matambres not putting that pressure against T-Rex. Player JK already in the lead. And this is what I love. I mean, if you're a sniper, most of the time you are on a back line. But player JK always pulling away from the rest of the squad, just giving it an opportunity to go for a rush, but he still managed to take the lead. Fortunately, that's not the case for the side of E7. Lost 2 of their players already and still are meeting with 5-stars, who, if I'm not mistaken, has taken 15 elimination already. So that's a huge for the team.
As we approach Circle 3, play JK and squad. They've got the loot already, looking for the vending machine so they can spend some money. 9. Empire continues to crumble as LNQ single-handedly tries to dismantle these 2 players on the side of E7. Brew, 5-stars, finding his team member across the battlefield. And it'll be an easy takedown. Kakaroto hopping on in to that fight as well. Novatos trying to get the dirty done from afar.
Oh, let's see if they can do it. So far, Novatos has taken a lead, especially when this grouping is involved, but they will need to do a lot more. E7, well, the revive plus the comeback is not happening for side of E7. Blue, though, they're trying to go for an aggressive approach, but they're missing a lot of players. And Pelirojo right now would bring them that peligroso move. But it's a good thing the backup is there. Feng be able to help out. But here comes trouble. 5-stars smell what's happening.
Oh, they smell it indeed. 17 eliminations strong, 5-stars. Looking for that 5-star gameplay. Lightning zone outside the blue circle. And this looks like double damage time. 5-stars needs to get out of this sticky situation because they do not want to overstay their welcome. That revive has been pulled through already. 1 member on the side of blue just behind them, but That knockdown would sort that out. 9 trying to get away. Whoop. And it looks like the team of Red Eagles will not survive this encounter. Novathos doing so well. Great glue walls. Everything's being expanded out there by Red Eagles. Hoping and praying for survival. But the prevention is here. Danny, the final nail on the coffin for Red Eagles.
And there you have it. 1 Danny against 3 Red Eagles. And this is something else. I mean, with those glue walls being put up, Cryo Mind not even phasing the player from the squad. And that A124 pop just prevented or helped 1 Danny for that rush. But on the other side, another rush by 5-star. And they managed to eliminate the final player of E7 Empire. But we're still down to 7 teams. And the Blues closing in from 3rd to 4th.
Yeah. What can they make work here? This is a great spot for SNPT. 6 eliminations as well. It's not a slow game. I'm liking this. Come on, can we see a booyah SNPT? 5 stars. Moving on in. Tambre is spotted out already. They know they can have a positional advantage here, but they have to wait for Dabadoo. Dabadoo on the jump pad. Looking for that high ground advantage. But has to be careful that he doesn't get sniped down because T-Rex wants a piece of Tambris as well.
A pinch, a sandwich. Tambris sandwich, I would say. 5 stars on one side, T-Rex on the other. Duck did manage to hit, put in, delaying their rush, delaying the carnage that they can bring into the table. But unfortunately, 5 stars, 20 elimination already, and the battle's not yet over. So this version of 5 stars, not something that you want to deal with for the moment. Good thing that Tambris is doing quite well. Winchester in hand from Kappa. And that pushes some of the players from 5 Stars Esports away from these engagements.
Yeah, and that sandwich definitely did a number on them. 5 stars, taking down a couple of Tambris players, and T-Rex doing the exact same. Kappa sneaks the revive. Dabadoo finds the connection, but Dior follows up. Kappa down on the ground. A C80 instant delete. 5 stars, 22 elimination points already, looking for the booyah, but a revival this late into the game just makes it so easy for the spray downs.
I mean, let them be for the battle on that other side. This is what SNPT needs. But they need to deal with Novathos, who's rushing in against them. You know that SNPT had the resources, but the firepower is another question. Being thrown of everything but the kitchen sink. Novathos might be losing out on a lot of resources right here once SNPT fires back. But unfortunately, SNPT not surviving at all when we thought they can grab the booyah. But Darius with a god nade! And no pickup can be done. Only Kakaroto survived, make that Mabi. And that, as quickly as that, it's a 1v4.
Darius, can he find Mabi as well? If he does, he would have aced out the whole squad. But player JK steps in and says, calm down, Darius. Okay, it's a team game. All right, 7 eliminations for Darius already. What a play that was. That God nade hitting a double, and then he just brings death with a weapon as well. M590 to the chest. And T-Rex on the hunt now, looking for a team called 5 Stars, because they have a bunch of points that T-Rex wanted to absorb to the other side. And the only way 5 Stars can pay for this is with their lives.
Well, let's see. I mean, the first team that is paying with the lives is Tambris. There goes the jump coming from Feng. Unfortunately, he has been spotted by 5 Stars. Tambris' final player will be left behind. Little no chance of surviving this fight, but the flank has been done already. But speaking of flank, he might be able to catch player JK off guard if player JK doesn't turn around and shoot him back. But 5 Stars, 3v4 from this area. Let's see. Darius going down, put in right now, stuck on one side, still connected though, but no pickup can be done. So he would need to put the bullet, but unfortunately it's only player JK who managed to go pull away from the rest of the squad, can carry on onto this fight.
And 5 stars geared up to pick up their first booyah here in the knockout stage as well. And it's a massive one. 30 elimination strong will be this booyah for a massive 42-pointer. Can you believe it? Only a miracle can save T-Rex and Thambris. Maybe that's the miracle in player JK. Dragon down on the ground, triple glue wall laid out, and the backup comes through from Brew. Brew looking for the shutdown. Kappa X, 5 stars, 2 players pressured inside the time turner. Thambris loses their player, and it's all up to player JK, who's outside the safe zone right now.
Yeah, not quite sure what the plan is, but he's trying to survive. But Bro managed to deal the final blow, and 5-star with a huge booyah.
42 points. How do you pull that off? My God, 5 stars. They were in the 10th spot before this game started. And they are going to launch themselves somewhere into the top 5 by the looks of things, Neptune.
Well, let's see though, because so far that is huge already. And hopefully that does happen. But certain teams have invested so much of points already that it's unlikely to be caught by teams like this, like a scoreline like this from 5 stars. But still,
yeah,
I mean, the effort to get that high elimination is not easy. 5 stars had to deal with a lot, and Brooks, whatever you want to call him, I'm going to call him Bro, because he has been rocking it. Coda to hunt their opponents, and then that Olivia Tiva combination to heal and help out the teammates, plus a little bit of tankiness in there just in case they meet up with some troubles with that Joseph M590. And you know how 5-star is. Like 3 players on M590, they deal with a lot of damage.
When your medic is psychic and at the same time a serial killer, you don't have to worry about anything. Brew was just blasting through the opponents. 8 eliminations, 15 assists. Big game. 5K on the damage. This guy pulled no stops. I mean, again, he's supposed to be the ambulance of the squad. He's supposed to be the paramedic. He's supposed to be picking people up, which he did. He was supposed to be healing them, which he did. And then in the free time that he had, he picked up some solid points for the squad of 5 stars.
And that's one thing. I mean, we're seeing the rise of support player. Though it doesn't have the Cassie, does have the Coda. It does help though, because if you're stuck in one corner trying to go for a pickup, you pop that Aurora Vision. At least you know what to expect instead of just guessing and listening to where the opponents are coming. But we've seen how well 5 stars even are splitting up in the early parts of this game. But this push alone against player JK, yes, Dragon has been taken down. We know that for a fact. Player JK can make those shots, but surviving this long after a lot of engagement from earlier, and they're even a team that is putting pressure on a lot of engagement, is just phenomenal.
Yeah, 30 eliminations. Dior Dabadoo with 9 apiece by the end of that. It was a ridiculously good game for the whole squad of 5 stars. Okay, maybe top 5 might be a little tough for them to climb into because they have been struggling with their placement points throughout the whole competition. Apart from this booyah, they almost never got anywhere close towards that final circle in any one of their other games. But 20 points clear at the top compared to Thambris, who only walked away with 22 points. 5 stars hold on to a total of 42. Ridiculous game for 5 stars.
5 stars indeed. 5-star performance. Now
there's only 44 players in one lobby, Neptune. Okay, they got 2 points less.
I mean, we're talking about like total points. Elimination-wise, elimination-wise, they give a little bit of leeway, but there's also a factor of revive. Otherwise, like how much points? Like there's a cap in there when it comes to points. And I'm still loving that the revive has been introduced. How many years has it been? What, 2 years? before that revive, or when the revive has been introduced, and it is like showing a different side of this game we're in.
Yeah.
SNPT is rocking it. Like a team like 5 stars is getting a lot of elimination. Take advantage of those coming back, and it's not just as if they're just pointing towards the horizon. They're also looking at the skies, who's dropping in, and they're eliminating them even before they get to the ground.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And of course, Novatos still at the very top, as they have done enough with that single booyah to maintain that #1 spot. And this wraps up the standings here for knockout stage week 1. We will have week 2 next week, where every single team will complete their remaining 8 games for a total of 16, at the end of which the top 12 teams make it into the grand finals.
And still no trouble for those on a 13 to 18, especially those on this up until the 16th spot. Because if we will be taking Cold or either Rosario Central as a threshold, they will be able to do it, but it needs at least 2 solid games for them to catch up, and condition as well that those above them will not be getting those points. So homework needs to be done for the remainder of days before the next week of battle. They would need to study which opponent they need to take out, and all those early engagements, especially in the bottom part of the leaderboard, is bound to happen. And some might be just stuck in there. I'm talking about Los Cubanos and Galaxy Gaming, who has been struggling overall in this competition.
Understandable as to why you would say that. But, you know, even in the group stage, we saw last minute some teams woke up in the competition when the fire is under your bum. You know, you gotta stand up, scream a little bit, and then run around. Maybe that's exactly what Los Cubanos needs. That's exactly what Galaxy Gaming looks like they need, although I would have expected a couple of supernovas already, but all we see is a black hole, and they can't seem to crawl out of it. SNPT with their survival gameplay, Neptune. I thought they were going to make some miracles work to stay in the top 12, but it seems like it's typical just to play those revival and placement points.
Yeah, at that moment, last time we saw them, I thought they are going to rock. They are rocking it with elimination, but that's not their style. So the question now is slowly being answered. The reason why they're going for survivability, going for those revive, is because they couldn't hang against the top dog. So let's see if that will still roll, if that story will come through up until next week, AJ.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Well, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, that is it here for week 1 of the knockout stage. Week 2 coming up next week. You guys know exactly the drill. Same time, same place. Neptune and I will catch you guys there. Take care.